once so proudly we hailed, and the twilight lies gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights. Oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket treadless, the bomb busting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, traitors that star-spangled banner, yeah, wave for the land under the frame, and the home of the brave. Because we are the brave. Yes, we are the brave. We'll fight you in name, the name of the brave. We are the US of A. For those unaware, that flag is still there. It's our future to save, this land of the brave, the US of A. Oh, traitors that star-spangled banner, yeah, wave for the land under the frame, in the home of the
And welcome everyone to MaxSpeedTV, live here this evening for a Loose Lug Nuts special event, Indy 500, and by Indy 500 I mean all 500 miles of it. Tonight I am joined by Bob Wells and Michael D'Amico down there on the keyboards showing us the cameras. I am Jeff Woods, but before we pitch it over to my co-host Bob Wells, happy Memorial Day to everyone. Let's all remember what this holiday is really about out here. It's about family, remembering our soldiers, active and retired, and those that have sacrificed everything in the line of duty. Thank you all that serve, continue to serve, and we will get on to a fun-filled and extremely long race, Bob.
Yeah, it sure is going to be a long race. 200 laps, 500 miles. Guys are out there going to be putting down their qualifying laps. Looks like they have 2 laps, Jeff. 5 minutes, 2 laps for this session. We just watched the 1 hour of practice leading up to it. Saw a lot of great action in that session.
Yeah, we did. I will remind viewers that, like most leagues, Indy 500 comes around, we shake off the dust here at Loose Lug Nuts Racing, and we get the Indy cars out maybe once, twice a year, so excuse if they're a little bit rusty here, especially since Mr. D'Amico joined in and we can't watch qualifying, but we'll keep you up to date on that qualifying session as we go through at least another 4 minutes.
Yeah, and I actually joined in too, Jeff. Got some laps in, and quick overview of how these cars are running. Huge pull up in the draft. Subsequently, that draft does hurt you in the corners. Really does. The air's really playing with these cars. If you're a first car and nobody in clean air, man, you can run this place flat all the way around. But once you get in that dirty air, you've got to really adjust with your right foot accordingly.
Yep, seeing the first 2 times come up, 3 times. Mark Jackson now at the top of the board with single car qualifying here for this 5-minute qual event. It's all about corners here, Bob. Who's going to get the fastest? I hope we have our drinks handy beside us. We may take a few breaks here tonight, even if it's green flag sessions, Bob. We'll let everyone stretch their legs and get some commercial events here, but overall we have, I believe, around 25 actual drivers on the track here this evening, so we got a good show ahead of us.
Yeah, we sure do, and a lot of big names here, of course. Justin Michael, who comes by for these big special events, very talented sim racer. We got, of course, multi-time Lugnut champion, now working his way second on the board there. Reckham West Holland, looking down there, Jeffrey Merck, multiple champion, multiple race winner, Mark Jackson. Kyle Chadwick, he's really been picking his game up of late. Very talented racer. A lot of big names. Brian Brazel, of course, Jason Hughes. The last IndyCar Series championship was won by Mr. Jason Hughes back there in that 58, yet to post a time. Of course, we have a ex-NIS champion, Robert Mattis, another very talented guy. Dustin Covington, he definitely can put down laps in the stock cars, but all of these guys, man, their bread and butter is stock car race, and really ripping them out of their comfort zone, no fenders, open wheel racing tonight, Jeff, and it's going to be good to see these guys do something different and see how they transition into a different type of racing.
Yeah, it is going to be a transition, and I hope our drivers out here can make that transition here this evening. It's a little bit shaky during certain times of practice, but maybe going to a single file restart, if we have restarts, so to say, could shake up here the event. But 18 cars with times down. Justin Michael still holds it with Wes Holland and Chris Boyles in the 009 there, rounding out third. A lot of different times out here. Seeing some other guys like Trevor Redding, I believe was one of our dirt guys on Friday night, along with Andrew Foston. Himself in the 110, another dirt guy coming out here trying open wheel race, and they may be good at that sprint car racing, but this is a whole nother beast as we are in the final minute of qualifying.
Yeah, a quick overview actually of the car. This is, of course, the new version of the IndyCar, the IRL 18. It's a fixed setup race, Jeff. Everybody has the same setup. And full load of fuel in these cars as well. I was told it's right around that 30 lap mark. This is a special event. There is no incident limit. And they do have 2 resets to use tonight, Jeff. So if they do get into a bit of trouble, they get a do-over. Unlike our point series action. The weather, we have 112 degree track temp. 80 degrees for the fans sitting out there in the stands. A beautiful day here at Indianapolis.
All right, qualifying time up. We'll be going to gridding real quick and give you a good rundown, skipping, of course, our 2 guys here in the booth. Let's see as they start to grid up. Final words from race admins going on at this moment, I am sure. A little bit of hype from league owner John Hedrick there in the chat. Let's go ahead and go down to the track and see these guys, what they got going on. Now, their numbers are going to be hard to read. People will try to, sound them out. Numbers, that is, as we can, sponsors, whatever their scheme is. But let's go ahead. Starting on the pole, Justin Michael with a 39 7.32 lap for qualifying to get up to the lead. Wes Holland is second. Chris Voiles third. John Pansula in that 01 machine fourth. Jeff Merck, as you mentioned, recent two-time lug nut champion, starting fifth. Mark Jackson sixth. Ronald Klein seventh. Michael Smith Jr. eighth. Brad Ream ninth. Kyle Chadwick 10th, Bob.
Yeah, Chadwick, good job there. We have Brandon Thornhill, I think is the last name. A wise guy ain't got it up there.
Yes.
In 11th. Trevor Redding, I'm not sure about him, but in 12th. We'll check him out tonight. I haven't seen him race at all, really. Lee Phelps in 13th. Ray Richer from New York State up there in 14th. Christopher Mattis making a return to action here at Lugnuts. It's good to see you in 15th. Get Matthew Heavener. I can't remember what we used to call him. Or some of the things we used to call him, Jeff, we can't say here on TV. Starting 15th. 16th, rather. We have Andrew, was that Fresdom? In 17th. And Austin Leslie, that must be another one of the dirt guys, in 18th. 19th is Dustin Covington. Tamiko, good job. No time starting there in 20th, guy. I don't know. You might want to hop out of that production truck. Get out there, right next to me. So disregard 20th and 21st. Those clowns are up here in the booth. Brian Bizzell, North Carolina driver for Covington Motorsports out of Salty, North Carolina, rolls off 22nd. Vernon Margam will be 23rd. Jason Hughes, 24th, starting way back there without a qualifying time. Gene Rogers, 25th. Robert McFarland, 26th. We have Brian Tibble down there in 27th. And Panic, Robert Mattis, a shotgun on the field.
Yep. Good amount of cars here on the field. 26 cars to be exact to start this race. It is a long race, people. They're already talking about bathroom breaks, getting it in before or after their qualifying session. If not, eat a lot of salt-type chips. Soak up that fluid in your body. Hopefully your significant other's right there beside you to, give all that extra info. Because guess what? 500 miles, Bob. It is a long road ahead.
It is, but they're going to go by pretty quick at the same time, Jeff. These guys are hauling ass around here, 220s or so. They didn't really get a chance to look at the speedometers, but focusing on where the hell I was going. I was down there, but and these things are hauling ass. It's like driving one of these down here. It's like fast forward compared to what we do in NASCAR here.
That it is, and hopefully we can provide some goals out here tonight for the guys in the cars. Now, we're going to misplace numbers and names early on until we get this color-coded situation going on here, Bob. I think at least we know Justin Michael in that 07 West Holland and the American machine, along with the other American machines out there, starting second outside pole. Yeah, a lot of guys out here on YouTube watching. Thank you. Here we go. Pace car down, waiting for that green flag event to start this Indianapolis 500.
Green flag.
Nuts. Here we go. Green flag it is. Heading down the front stretch across the bricks. Here we go. This is the pivotal moment with these guys side by side.
Yeah, big pack heading down there. A lot of side-by-side action. Michael out front first. And early go. Chris Voiles now trying to make a challenge for that lead at turn 2. Everybody through 1 and 2 for the first time. Nice and clean. Good racing up here in the front, though. We got a lot of side-by-side action. Look at that draft player roll, Jeff.
Yeah, drafting, big thing. Knowing when to check up, another big thing. And seeing the checkup, tack that number 3 on your list to watch out for. Good first lap coming up here. Not seeing any contact. About 4 wide in the back, but Justin Michael will lead lap number 1 with Chris Voiles and Wes Holland tailing.
Funny thing is, you were saying there was no contact back here around Heavener. A couple of guys were trying to side draft each other. They were banging wheels and stuff coming down the front straightaway. Everybody carries on, though, on their business.
Yeah, that's our stock car guys, Bob. Side draft an Indy 18 car here. So here we go. Like Bob said, 38 laps. This is a different showing altogether from practice from what we're seeing here now. Lap number 2. This is now rolling into setup, corner by corner. Justin Michael now leads the big pack as we go across the bricks again into turn number 1.
Yeah, watching Wes Holland there, he really checked up down there on the front straightaway. Definitely just riding and buying his time, trying to quick some wax off as he rides in that third spot. Out front, though, Justin Michael showing away. I think he's led every lap so far.
Yep, pole sitter leading every lap down the stretch into turn number 3. Now, I know everyone knows this, but Indianapolis, one of the bigger tracks on any circuit, be it NASCAR or the IndyCar Series. This place can hold, I believe, around 9 aircraft carriers in the infield alone. And it is a big place, and the track even bigger. Here we go through turn number 1. Justin Michael just holding down the inside through the corners. Wes Holland now trying to look up under Chris Voiles. We'll move further back to the pack. Who's back there in 4th, Bob?
Now back in 4th, it looks like we have Crazy Mike, John Panzula, holding down the 4th there in that position. And then his mirror, he's got Jeffrey Merck. Jeff Merck, that is, doing a good job there in the top 5. Really about the top dozen, Jeff, kind of strung out here in a single file. Pretty conservative run at this point. Nobody getting too crazy.
Well, I'll tell you what, as long as we keep it green here tonight, my wife will be happy, Bob, because this is a long race here this evening. But these guys are making a quick show of it. Look at that move. Didn't see who it was. It looked maybe like Kyle Chadwick back there. We're still looking out front. Justin Michaels, Chris Voiles, Wes Holland leading it on. Not much change in the top 5. Just outside the top 5 is the 76 of Ronald Klein.
Yeah, Ronald Klein definitely way out of his element off the iRacing sim. Does a little dirt street stock racing from time to time. That's definitely a world away from Indy.
Yeah, it is. He is our special event admin here tonight while also being on the track. And big thanks to him for that and all the other admins out there racing and making Loose Lug Nuts what it is. Again, wow, well over 30 viewers, active viewers here on YouTube for MaxSpeedTV viewing Loose Lug Nuts Indy 500. Thank you everyone for coming out and enjoying a great evening. Now we got here on the YouTube land. John, tell us, is it the usual prop? So we got a die cast coming up for our winner here tonight. I'm sure he'll answer that soon, but we'll get back to the racing again. Big thank you for everyone viewing this evening. Justin Michael still holding down the fort. Chris Voiles really showing a strong second, and Wes, like you said, just biding his time.
Yeah, and speaking of those diecasts, he does one hell of a job. I don't know if anybody's seen it, but you can check those out on the old book face. Over-the-top paints and designs. Of course, if you're an iRacer, you can get great paint jobs there. Don't want to look your best on the track. Look, over the top.
Yep. Ain't no one better than John Hendrick over the top paints and designs. It is a steady race here. We're viewing every different angle we can see through many different drivers. Not much going on. We'll see guys step out, but not going for a pass. Maybe a pass right here for 5th.
Yeah, I'm kind of floating around. I got the Oculus Rift on and just using the Chopper Cam Oculus Rift. Great product, man. So, you're an iRacer, check that action out. But single file really throughout the whole field. Guys really not getting too aggressive yet, but the field's not really getting too far strung out at the same time. We do have to pass back here. Trying to get numbers on it from the Chopper Cam, which is pretty hard. But one guy there, that black card, actually losing another spot down there in turns 4. Oh, a little bit of contact. Gets a little squirrely. Hangs on to it, though.
I think D'Amico coughed because you said the black car, and I'm sure there's more than one black car out there.
Oh, come on now. Quit picking on me.
It's fine. If I didn't have the driver tab open and my IRTVO, I wouldn't have the numbers to tell you who was who, but, you know, Chris
was Ronald Klein, and he worked his way up, as did Kyle Chadwick, ahead of Bad Brad Ream there in the black car, as I said. I don't know if my trading paints is totally updated. I'm not sure I got the right paint jobs up. I'm going to refresh that while Jeff Woodward gets the call there.
Yep. Back out front. Oh, never mind. Pass here for 5th place. John Panzula, and I believe that is Jeff Merck getting passed up here by John Panzula, excuse me. It is, oh, car off the wall. I'm back there. I believe that's Robert McFarland or Ray Richter. Nope, car heading down the escape tunnel there through 3 and 4. Robert McFarland, no, someone else maybe. Andrew Fox,
we're getting wreck out of turn 4. Multiple cars involved. One shot its way over the retaining wall and into the infield. Talking about hitting it out of the park. Foul ball on their part. Caution is out here at Indianapolis, beginning on lap 11.
Yeah, we'll have replay coming up just in a moment as we catch the number. I believe it was the 011, Christopher Modis.
Yeah, Christopher Mattis, down in the garage area, heavy damage. No rear wing left on that. I think he's taking a tow, which is why it's not fixed. He does have that fast repair, so he'll get back out there.
It happened right in front of him, too. I didn't catch who that was. Darn these little numbers.
And a while back anyway. That's the 011 car.
Well, Bob, at least when these cars crash in iRacing, I know it's a little bit scary in real life when these cars crash, but in iRacing, it's quite a comedic event to see the physics take hold and what it does. Oh, here we go with first round of pitting. First round of pitting coming up after 10 active laps. Justin Michael gonna lead it off down through there. Chris Voiles, 009 with the EOL penalty. Not sure where that's coming from. He's letting people escape into it. He may have some rear wing damage on that 009.
Yeah, I think he may have gotten caught up in that as well. Tough break here early on.
Oh, that happened. Someone nailed Chris Voiles during the caution coming up to the pace car.
I thought I heard some chit-chat about that on the racetrack, Jeff, when I was looking at replays of that last incident.
Yeah, looks like Justin Michael out of pit box first. Couple cars staying out. That would be Matthew Hebner and, gosh, someone else out there too. Not sure. We'll see as the laps click off.
Yeah, waiting for that to reset. And, gosh, I can't imagine. I'm not sure what Hebner's doing. He's probably just trying to get TV time out of us, Jeff. I'm pretty sure we're going to see that very manly pink machine make its way down to the pit road this time by. As we alluded to, about 30 laps on the fuel. It wouldn't make any sense at this stage to stay out, I don't believe.
No. All about fuel, weight distribution through the corners, and those coveted tires.
Wow, big news.
Pretty slick.
Wes Holland was given an EOL penalty as well.
If it was for the same thing of not slowing down under yellow, I would imagine that's why probably Wes would have to slow up really far here to get to the pits. He may choose to pit next time around.
I've got a long back when the guys are right. Pace car is catching up. Geez, Wes just, I don't know, got it in, and pace car drove through him, which the kind of pace car warped through you, and it threw him off there for a second. He ended up churning. I think that was Crazy Mike. Oh, Chris Voiles, rather.
Yeah, Chris Voiles probably asked for an EOL to not hold up the rest of the field there. Still under caution here. 10 active laps. Now, these are going to be some long pace laps. We said that about Pocono, Bob. This might be a little bit longer pacing.
Yeah, it's a long pace lap, Jeff. About 2 minutes. And Wes apologizing for what happened. He definitely feels like it was his fault. Well, back to that Pocono race, though, we watched Wes Holland get damaged, and that was a hell of a race, watching him drive his way back to the front. And here he is in the back. So we might actually have something going on here in the back of the pack worth watching.
Yeah. Wes asking for the EOL, John says out there on YouTube. Well, sometimes you just ask for it and you want to get out of the top mix there. Maybe you're not feeling comfortable enough. I know Wes turned a lot of practice laps during the week, but maybe not so much on this practice session here for this race setting. So the weather conditions may have changed somewhat with dynamic weather.
Yeah, it's actually a little bit overcast at the moment there. You got partly cloudy skies. Field, I believe they're going to get the one to go this time, Jeff. And we have Justin Michael, Jeffrey Merck, Powell, Chadwick, Brad Ream, it looks like, going to be our top four as the iRacing Mustang makes its way to the big brick stripe.
Yep, Justin Michael, like you said, showing up here for the special event. He's led every lap, well, minus the one Matthew Hebner led out there, getting his TV time in that 99 machine, but doubling up. We'll see how this goes. They did a good green flag session. Now we're going to have to get longer green flag session in for it to be considered a green flag session. But, here we go this evening with this 10 laps, good starter. We had a little bit of caution there. We're going to talk through this caution, but maybe next time we'll head over to commercial break if we get another quick one here. But how about it? Guys lining back up again, giving us a nice double file restart. We'll see how that plays out. Bob, what do you think early on here?
It's actually been a pretty calm race, Jeff, but they re-racked all tight again, and it could be on this time. We'll see what happens. Fans of Lee Phelps, sad news, he has retired his race effort for the evening. iRacing Mustang now making its way into turn 3. Lights have been extinguished. We're going to get ready to get back after it here and begin lap 15.
Yep. The 011 machine only one lap down after, towing and resetting. Same thing with Ronald Klein in the 76. He's a lap down. Justin Michael going to lead him off now. I'm not sure how this works here in this special event. I believe, at least under the loose lug nuts rule, that the leader can fire after the pace car drops. So we'll see where that goes here this evening with Justin Michael. Pace car down. He's waiting, not seeing. There he goes. He gets a great jump.
Green flag.
Yeah, they did say in the driver's meeting, no 3 wide until after the stripe, and leader was control car and all starts. Leader did not have lane choice here tonight. Justin Michael now showing the way down through turns 1 and 2. We do have a little bit of a side-by-side battle for that second spot. Jeffrey Merck, Cal Chadwick getting after a little bit as they rocket down the backstretch.
A little bit of tire touching going on back here. Austin Leslie, Werner Markheim all up into this.
And a battle for the lead out front.
Yep, there we go. There for the lead.
Yeah, we might have a new leader, Jeff, if he can bring it to the stripe. We'll see what happens down the main straightaway. Car's tucked up tight in that trap. Takes a peek down to the inside. We got a nice battle there. Top 3 under the blanket down in the turn 1 on lap 16.
Yep, Kyle would get the lap there. Justin Michael, not used to being back in this dirty air, going to have to lay back as these two cars are side by side for the lead. Chadwick and Merck.
Chadwick and Merck putting on a great show here at the Brickyard. Breaking lap 16 down in the turn 3. They do get it down in the single file. A little pressure, though, for that third spot.
Yep, believe that is Merck there in the 60. Justin Michael, not used to being behind that new leader, Kyle Chadwick, 88 machine. Light blue car stepping out back there. Maybe a battle for third going on.
Definitely little bit more aggression here this second run of the evening. Excuse me, folks. Whoa, we have contact at a turn 2 car. Finally around. That was the longest and slowest spin I've ever seen. A spin out of turn 2. I didn't get the car number. My apologies.
Yep, I'm not able to pick it up either.
I believe he probably got it righted and got going.
Yeah, green flag event. Still going. Pass for the lead coming up. There goes Merck under Chadwick. Pansula. Oh! Merck sideways.
And that's a boy that likes to drive sideways.
3 wide back there around Justin Michael for 4th. Brad Green, Brendan Thornhill all involved in that racing going on. Merck now, I believe, is back around 4th and 5th spot, but Chadwick now under pressure from John Pansula.
And there they go, looking for that lead again, down into turn 1.
Yeah, they are just drafting and, like you said, a little bit more aggressive on this run, Bob.
Yeah, Crazy Mike and Chadwick side by side, working out of turn 2, still side by side, down the back straightaway. It's going to give these cars right behind them a great opportunity to catch both of these guys with that side by side action. Look at that back. All of a sudden, it just started closing right up.
People commenting out on YouTube what a save it was from Jeff Merck. He didn't lose too many spots. Currently scored 5th on my board. Maybe moved up to 4th. Here, another pass coming up. They're just every time here as we get into a straightaway.
Yeah, back out front. They're still side by side again for that lead between Chadwick and Crazy Mike. You're careful when you're racing a guy with a nickname like Crazy Mike, especially if his first name is John. I'm not even sure where the hell he got that one.
Yeah, here we go yet again. Pansula down on the bottom, Chadwick up high. They got to watch this correlation here because Brad Ream in that 61 machine is lurking in 3rd at the moment, waiting for the mistake to happen. Up, look at that. Wow, all the way to the bottom of the track.
Wow, this almost looks like the end of that Indy Lights race the other day. Fans might be wondering why it took Crazy Mike so long to get around Chadwick on the inside. He has the preferred line. He should be able to just drive right on by. But I can tell you from running in practice, that outside car really takes a lot of the air off the inside car. Get you wicked tight, Jeff. And that's probably what he was fighting. Chadwick looked like he's able to work his way back out front. And here comes Crazy Mike down to the inside in the 3.
Yep. Wow, they are just trading spots here. I think Ream, once involved, he just can't catch enough draft. And they are shaking up front. What a good correlation between these top 2, at least, as they battle onward. Chadwick on the bottom, Pansula up high, people spreading out, trying to find draft where they can through this front straightaway.
Yeah, they're definitely a different look to this race, the second stint, if you will, after that first caution. These guys are definitely getting up on the wheel, wanting to get some track position bad.
Yep. Donald King out there on YouTube saying driving the wheels off them. That might actually be a concern, Bob, if we stay green here as we again swap in first place, almost tire touching. Tire wear may come into the later half of this run.
It sure will, and as the tires start to give up just a little bit.
3 wide.
Whoa, 3 wide for the lead down the main straightaway. Threading the needle is Justin Michael. Wow. That guy knows how to sell with threading the needle like that.
Wow, what a pass here. I hope we were on board live on that one as I see it. Yes, we were. Gosh.
Chadwick ain't done with him now. Taking a run down the outside as they hit off in the 3. Crazy Mike right there, ready to strike. Wonder if he took notes on that 3 wide deal.
Something was in a bottle that they threw at these drivers on pit road, Bob. They are just acting totally different. A little bit hyped up here. Yellow flag out on the field.
I don't know. That one out. What a race. I sure hope it ain't the stuff you got in your shot glass that's in that Gatorade bottle, though.
I'm not seeing the wreck either, Mr. D'Amico. We did see Austin Leslie disconnect. If he pulled it over and disconnected, it may have thrown a yellow. I'm not sure when he disconnected. So Austin Leslie off the field. Here comes the pace car. We're going to look for events here to happen and then go to a commercial break. Maybe find where the caution happened. Ronald Bryan.
Yeah, I'm winding Austin back. He did pull in the pit road disconnect, but I don't believe he's the culprit here of the caution.
I saw maybe Ronald Klein, the 76 machine, may have had a solo crash there. Who knows what it is, but here we go for our first time. We're going to go to a quick commercial break, work through this caution, and we'll be right back with you here on Max Speed TV in just a moment.
BRB.
If you're looking for a gift for that special person or just want to treat yourself, check out Expressions by Erica on Facebook.
Cups, hats, t-shirts,
Heat transfer vinyl,
graphics, and much, much more. Treat yourself with a personalized monogram to go in your Yeti cooler or the back of your car.
Erica does it all.
Need something that says I love you for Valentine's Day, your anniversary, or even birthday? Erica has you covered with the best gift for all of those special occasions. Missy from Facebook says, they did an amazing job on what I ordered. They also did it very quickly, even though I had it shipped from South Carolina to Tennessee. I highly recommend them. Thank you, girls.
Also from Facebook, Casey says, great job. And they did it last minute for me since I completely forgot I needed it. Everyone loved it.
Contact Expressions by Erica by calling 843-810-3883 and like us on Facebook.
Expressions by Erica. iRacing, the world's biggest premier in online sim racing, gives you, the driver, an experience of a lifetime in competing against some of the best drivers in the world. All drivers take their hand at each track and they want to look good while putting it up front. Wouldn't you like to do the same? Introducing iWrap, one of the leading online iRacing paint venues, offers you any custom paint that you desire. Show off your sponsors and style while running some of the greatest sim racers out there and look great while pounding the pavement or spinning in the dirt. Any color or any design, no request is too small. From sprint cars to cup cars, they cover anything you want. Want to show off that local venue? Or how about running one of your favorite real-world drivers' paint? iWraps does it all. Custom suits, helmets, cars, and logos. Just ask and they will make it look like $1 million while you're going 1,000,000 miles an hour. iWraps produce high-quality virtual paint designs for iRacing vehicles of all kinds. Search iWraps on Facebook and send a message today to make your iRacing experience more than just making laps in a pre-made paint scheme. iWraps, the top of the line in online racing paint wraps. If you're looking for a gift,
All right, welcome back, everyone. We have a few guys off the track early on. Under our second caution here, Justin Michael was back out front. There is a car ahead of him looking to get a lap back, I believe. Not sure on the number of that car. Maybe Ronald Klein out there out front trying to get a lap back. But Justin Michael again in that 07 machine. We saw him right before that caution thread the needle on board with him too as he did it, getting through on the front straightaway, wearing those tires down. Was a lot of the drivers, Bob. What do we see now, run number 3 coming up?
I think we're going to see more of the same, Jeff, as we get deeper into this race. Of course, still a long ways to go, 175 or so laps left, but I think we're going to see more of the same. There's a little bit of pressure for these guys that are, not in that top 3. They want to get that track position. The further back you are, the dirtier the areas, and the more the car is not going to handle to your liking in the corners. That is indeed, of course, Ronald Klein. He is going to take the lead around and get himself back on the lead lap, taking an opportunity here with this caution. That should work out good for him, too. At this stage, it wasn't a big run, and that'll get him back in the right, back in the black, I guess you could say.
Out of the black, at least, on the negative score. Andrew Boston reconnecting as he probably had a power flicker there wherever he is at. Luckily we're at one of the biggest tracks on iRacing, therefore you won't go too many laps down. If you disconnect, you tow, whatever it may be. There goes Ronald Klein. Pace car lights are out. 1 to go signal has been issued. We are doubling back up, Bob. Kyle Chadwick, John Hula, Justin Michael, they're all there yet again. Some new guys in the mix. Vern Markheim, Brad Ream, Mark Jackson. They're all going to be vying for that top spot, all trying to get the best aero push they can out on these long straightaways, front and back. It is going to be quite a ride. What a show we had last run, though, Bob.
Yeah, that was good stuff, and hoping to see more of the same, and not a caution. None of those guys were involved in a caution. They were putting on a hell of a show.
Yep, not too certain where the official caution came from. Couple guys diving down pit road there to get some fresh set of tires, maybe yet again, and some fuel. They're catching back up to the field. Here, turns 3 and 4, Bob. How about you get the call on this green? We rocket towards yet another green flag.
Well, all right, and the iRacing Mustang has the field in tow, 75 miles an hour. Hang on to that wheel, tighten that Mustang. You might lose it. Blistering pace here. 2-minute pace lap, Jeff. Ooh, that's a long one. To be
yes,
these
sir.
Cars. My great thing is, if you're racing, though, you can actually park on pit road, run, take a pee, get back, not lose a lap. That's something I always like. Anyway, that iRacing Mustang, got to make that left turn, get out of the way so we can get back after it. Justin Michael Chadwick now getting ready to get on loud pedal. Justin Michael does a great job getting away. You don't want to get too far away, though, because that'll just set yourself up to get beat up with that draft. Side by side, we have Crazy Mike and Chadwick down in the one. We've seen this before.
Yep. Here we go again, and Justin Michael, that is, may have set himself up for a short run in the lead. There goes Pansula. Pansula getting called out there on YouTube for best paint job. There's a lot of good American flag paint out there. At least I think that's Pansula.
Yeah, a lot of good-looking cars out here trying to get familiar with the numbers and paints on some of these guys. Whoa, we have a moment down in turn 4. Big wreck.
Caution.
Looked like somebody jacked a couple guys up, had contact, and guys went around spinning like tops.
Yep. One of Robert McFarland may be involved. No, he's clean. Sure where the numbers are. Gosh, these tiny numbers. All about sponsors, and it's like soccer.
Thank you for the ray there, room. Thank you. Yeah, thanks for the ray, room.
Yeah, I'm getting down there trying to get
Wes Holland involved.
Yeah.
Right.
Just gonna say, it looked like Reckham got into that one.
Hey, Wes, just so you know, you got no rear spoiler.
He was starting mid-back.
Anybody tell me what I look like in the back?
Well,
Can you tell me, Ron?
sure, we're viewing it live here already on Mr. D'Amico's view. But Reckham, Wes Holland, the number 4 machine involved. I was wrong. Robert McFarland just slowed way down to get out of that one. Jason Hughes also involved in that. He's on pit road.
In the back or no?
2 teammates involved.
Oh, tough. That's bad apples for those guys, no pun intended.
On Mr. D'Amico's end, I saw a marble car just phase through the 58 machine.
A lucky deal on him. He probably didn't get the damage then. Not sure who that was in front of Wes, but the guy, he kind of checked up really hard right in front of Wes, and I left Wes to basically punting right into him.
Yep. Some of the guys in the back of the field going down, a little bit of trickery going on. John Pansula was out in front when that caution flag flew, so he will retain or maintain the lead. Another quick caution here. We're going to have long pace laps in front of us. However, we're going to go ahead, I believe Pansula, yep, there he is. We're going to go ahead and bring up the 01 machine of John Pansula and talk to him early on. Out front is that 01 now. John, Crazy Mike Pansula, tell us how you're so far.
I got you.
How's that race going?
So far, so good, man. Just buying time. kind of played around with Kyle there a little bit to see what I could do. And Justin, they're pretty fast, and had a couple fast cars in practice as well there when we had a couple of those practice races. And just buying some time, trying to stay out of the crashes in the rear there and mid-pack. Just taking it easy.
So fair to say your strategy, Crazy Mike, is to maintain track position and stay out front?
Yes, sir. I don't like to be in the mid-pack there. Or towards the rear. Usually when something happens, it's not very fun. So just figured I'm going to try to stay up here in the top 5, top 4, hang out a little bit and see what happens.
All right, the 01 machine, John Panslow, long race ahead of you, buddy. Maybe we'll get to talk to you again before the end, and maybe at the end too there, John. We'll see you later, though.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you very much.
All right. One machine, John Pansula, given his look on the race so far. Bob, I quite agree with what he's doing. I mean, he's out front early. Why not stay out front and stay away from potential hazards?
Oh, exactly. You got good air. A lot of the chaos ain't going to be in front of you if you're in front. You know, that's the place to be.
Yeah, that is out there on YouTube. Yes, 2 resets here if you choose to use them this evening. Like I said, big track. You don't go maybe 1 lap down if you're even involved in a crash where you have to tow. The pace laps are tremendously long. At most, maybe 2 laps down, depending on where you had to tow from and where the pace car got the field. So, you know, we got that. A lot of guys out here probably at least used 1, Bob.
Yeah, I think some of the guys in the back anyway, but at least our top 3, I haven't seen them have a need to and use 1. And wow, Brian Tribble is up there in 4th. How'd that happen?
I believe, like I said, some of the guys faked pit road. Some of them committed to pit road. Tribble moving up with the guys that we'll see what the 22 machine can do in somewhat clean air, mixing it up front. This will be the first time we've seen him. He started 27th on the field, Bob, but Vernon Markheim also up in 3rd. He started 23rd. So, you know, a couple of guys using a pit time quick caution strategy here.
Yeah, and that was Brian Tibble that had that moment ways back when I was calling that spin out of 2, the long spin and spun around. We never got a caution for. Now that I see that car again, that was him in that 22 machine, that baby blue car. Pretty sharp car, though.
Okay, 22, Brian Tribble with the light blue. Got it. I'll try to put that back in memory for this race at least.
And that other guy's driving the black car, if you remember.
Yeah, all color recognition, maybe some sponsors going on here. I know John Hedrick, Over the Top Paints and Designs, painted quite a bit of cars here for this event. And a lot of American flag cars, Bob, too. So, but at least the one out front we know is John Pansula.
Yes, that's the one that's out front, and field is getting crossed over in the columns of 2 and getting ready to get after it. Begin lap 33. Rocketing right through this, Jeff. Not too much left in this race, only 167 laps, I think it is. I don't have my Jeff Wood Common Core calculator out at the moment, but doing the math there and carrying the numbers, that's roughly that many left to go.
Yes, it is around that number. I think my wheel's blocking the number here, but whatever. Leading them off, a couple guys also trying to get down pit road late on that yellow flag event. They're getting back up to the field. John Pansula, Justin Michael, the guys that have been out front all evening with a mix of some other guys like Chadwick involved in some very heated racing. I want to get back to it, Bob. I want to see these passes. These guys got a level head out here.
Yeah, it's not the kind of race that I'd want to do if I was down there, but man, I want them guys to get up on it and put on a show. Quick update, looks like Jason Muse had a connection issue. Of course, he is out there in Kansas a lot of rough weather, and thoughts and prayers for those that have suffered rough weather in particular part of the country there with all the tornadoes. Pace car is now going to make its way off of the speedway. Panzula, Justin Michael, your front row. Panzula down and away with a nice start there. Justin Michael and Brian Tribble following suit up there in that high line. Let's see what they got. It's down in the turn one, Jeff.
Yep. That 01 machine did the same thing that the 07 did last time. It is going to pay off possibly here for the 07 on the backstretch if he can cross over. No, he stays to the outside. 01 blocking down to the inside. The run, though, on the outside. 07 machine, Justin Michael, three wide for second.
Well, look out, the other black car. That's Brett Jackson making his way into this mix as well.
Yeah, Mark Jackson traditionally running intimidating.
Well, almost out of turn 4, hangs on to the car. What a hell of a save by Mark Jackson down there on the bottom. He got those rumble strips a little bit. He is getting soaked up, though. He's going to lose probably 2 spots down here in the turn 1.
Yeah, Brian Tribble, though, to the lead. Oh, wow, I think Justin Michael might have scraped the wall getting down into the first part of turn 1. He's on the back of the 22 machine. Car way down there to the bottom. A lot of arrow coming through here. Pass for second and first right there by John Panzula. Nope, that's not John Panzula. Vernon Markheim, sorry.
Yeah, what's my name? Vern to the front now. Let's see if he can carry this on. It'll be his first lap led here in the Memorial Day Classic, of course. Great Indy 500. Showing the way down on the 1. Big challenge now for that second spot as Crazy Mike now takes a peek down to the inside of Brian Tibble. And ball well, the car around, no car ball. The mid shoot there between turns 1 and 2. Caution back out.
Chris Voiles won, flipping violently over and over again, shredding that machine. He is going to get that car back on all 4 and not take, well, maybe he'll have to tow it. He'll have to be easy on that throttle, though. Wow, Chris Voiles involved in that one. We'll see what the replay has to show. Looks like he just got together with another car.
Yeah, there was contact up there in front of him, and that triggered this whole event.
And the words are ringing true for the 01 machine of John Panzula. Stay up front if you can. People, with a little bit of a yellow heavy start to this race. Who knows what it's going to bring. Vern Markheim, who was just leading the race moments ago, disconnecting that 77 machine, disconnecting. We may have some iRacing issues going on if this continues to happen, I think, Bob.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I'm not sure why he disconnected. Quick recap of that with Michael Smith Jr. Down in the turn 2 does make contact with Brandon Thornhill. That's what triggered this event. And of course, Chris Voiles, who we alluded to, a violent flip, just flipping and flipping and then flipping some more. Tough break for him.
Yep. 09, excuse me. Early, I know. By third at least, the fastest qualifier. He well enough to get down pit road on his own, maybe given an EOL. What was that, D'Amico? All right, we'll go ahead and take a look at Chris's car.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, beats having to tow that thing for it, flipping, hitting the fence, nose over tail, that type of event with 009 as he now enters pit road. He's probably steering that thing halfway to Sunday, Bob.
Yeah, I'm hearing some chit chat back and forth where the cars are not getting fixed. The glitch, but the fast repairs. That might have been the case here, Chris Voiles, because we'll see what happens when he gets down here into his stall. Watching him now.
Nope, there it is. It could be broken. Yeah, it popped up new for him. sometimes maybe you gotta take a second run through pit road. Unfortunately, a lot of the times when you tow, that happens. I think, Bob, when you tow and then it doesn't automatically reset, and you're sitting there with a broke car, not able to get off pit road.
And also hearing, I think somebody might have accidentally turned their engine off, and the IndyCar does not have a starter on it.
God bless our stock car guys, Bob.
And race control giving some education to the drivers on pit procedures as well. A couple of guys are, not doing it the way they ought to, and wrong client setting them straight. Field is under caution still, Jeff. Lights are on. Getting my screen updated. It looks like Brian Tribble is our leader. Brian Tribble there in that 22 car behind the Mustang. Mark Jackson, the guy in the other black car, currently shown second. Trevor Redding in third. This will probably update and make me look wrong here as they hit the stripe.
No, I'm seeing the 2 machine out front. Looks like the 22, the 3, and the 125 of Trevor Redding, who qualified 12th, so he's not a guy that didn't qualify moving up, just choosing to stay out this time. He's one of those guys, I believe, that was heading down pit road under the last lap of the previous cautions.
And there he is in fourth. Multi-time championship winner, Wreckham West Holland, in the 4 cars, worked his way back to fourth after multiple problems here tonight, Jeff.
Yeah, he may be out of fast repairs. I know he was involved in a caution under caution event during the first caution, and obviously involved with the 58 machine during, I believe, the second or third. So the 4 are running on fumes of body damage at least.
Yeah, very interesting. And wow, there's a lot of talk going on down there. Trying to catch that, what Ron's saying. Concerns if these guys get too many more cautions, Jeff, the clock's going to run dry before they get the 200 laps in.
Well, that is a possibility. Let's see, I believe, 2 hours, 55 minutes from when we start this 8 Eastern.
Yeah, so, we're 48 minutes in.
They have till about 11 p.m. Eastern, is it, Bob, to get this thing underway. And they really got to click some laps out here to get that event finished.
And Ray Richards says rain may be approaching. So it's another aspect of these guys have to be cognizant of when calculating pit stops, fuel strategy, and everything else. With that time cap, Jeff, it could be a time race, and you got to plan appropriately. Be aware of what you're doing, and we'll keep an eye on that situation as that develops. Field now crossing over columns of 2s. We'll begin lap 40 of 200 when they come by next time.
Yeah, you mentioned some guys having fast repair problems, I believe, in reference to that is the 58 machine, who logged back in to see how it's going. So, sometimes when you get tow and it doesn't fix these things, it really ruins the evening. But like you said, we're doubling back up yet again. Going to go green on number 40 of 200 with time factoring in now, as we have been under caution for a great portion of our green flag event racing. We got to get some laps in, guys. Hopefully we can get back to that battling out front. At least if we're going to have somewhat of a caution event, we can see those guys trade places out front, Bob. That was quite exciting.
That was awesome stuff. And for you guys watching, a huge thank you. We appreciate that a lot. Jeff and I, we do this because we have a good time doing it. We're amateurs at this broadcasting thing. We have a lot of fun, and definitely enjoy the fact somebody out there actually cares and is watching. And before you leave tonight, make sure you do like, share, and subscribe to MaxTV. We'll be back, I think, Jeff, with another special event Don't know the exact date. Mid-June, these guys will do the other Memorial Day Classic over at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Of course, the World 600 date and times and all the details are forthcoming on that. iRacing Mustang now making its way off of the speedway. We have Magic Shoes Mark Jackson on the outside, Brian Tibble down here on the inside, getting ready to go. Field getting a little bit jacked up as the guys in the back are anticipating this start. We have multiple guys strung right out. Brian Tibble away really slow, taking that pace speed all the way to the green light and the stripe there, it looked like.
Yep, first time that's happened from a leader waiting for the green flag. Justin Michael hard on the back end of that 22, Brian Tribble. Little scoot up the track. Mark Jackson falling off on the outside there with the older tires. Wow, look at that fresh new car from the 07. Justin Michael just wheeling around the 22, Brian Tribble. That's what tires can do, people.
Yeah, those tires definitely give you that boot, bite, and grip. Of course, you got a little draft and a good run. That will also help that as well. Brian Tribble now trying to challenge those to work their way down. And here comes Magic Shoes Mark Jackson with a bid for second. And now for first down in the turn one.
Yeah, huge run. 3 machine. Oh, he hits the rumble strip.
Well, he was lucky to get away with that. That usually will send you around with a quickness.
Yeah, he's going to file out second. Justin Michael maintains the first position. He has a huge gap between him and Mark Jackson. Brian Tribble battle for fourth. Redding, Brad Ream.
Yeah, pretty good battle. I was just watching that. Trevor in that very, very bright neon. Looks like a dang old bass bait right there, bright car. Doing a good job out here. Again, I'm not very familiar with him. I don't run the Dirt Series. I think that's where you come from, though. In fourth,
Yes.
that Dirt Series, of course, deal they run on Friday nights here at Lug Nuts Racing with the Dirt Pro late model. That's pretty exciting stuff there.
Yep, Trevor Redding, definitely one of the dirt guys, usually signified by the 1 in front of the number early on, as that is a new thing to the league, and those drivers are also new. But battle for fourth again heating up. There goes Brad Ream. He's up and under the 125, staying off. Brad Ream not able to make that pass just yet. He's side by side.
Yeah, not able to get that drive off. Getting a little snug with that air getting taken off his car by Trevor. Now takes a look down to the inside in the turn one. And we have another person entering this party who is Brandon Thornhill. He wants to get a piece of this action.
Yep, looks like Mobile One, the sponsor, up under that blue and white machine of Brandon Thornhill in the 68. Pretty sure y'all can't see that number about as well as we can. But almost looking 3 wide here. Nope, going to keep her 2 wide. Brandon Thornhill making the pass.
Yeah, Thornhill down to the inside. Does clear him as they head off into turn 4. Mobile One, that's a great oil, Jeff. That's all I used to run in my, it's all we run in our Hondas. Mobile One, full synthetic. Good stuff.
Here goes Redding down now. Trevor Redding looking for the 5th spot. Going to get it. Going to run high through the middle of 1 here. Going to hurt him on the exit. Brandon Thornhill escaping, though, into 4th with a good lead. Going to have to shift around his car there. Did not get the suck up from the drivers behind him. Got to control that aerodynamic. Let's move back out front and view our top 3 who have cut away from the rest of the field here.
Yeah, top 3 kind of just strung out, minding their own business, and motoring away from these guys who've been battling. Of course, when the guys are battling side by side, they don't click off as quick a lap time. 3rd place, just about 2.9 seconds off of the top 3 pack here. So these guys are doing what they need to. And whoa, we have a car around Trevor. Trevor Redding down there into the wall.
He cleared that really quick. Kudos to him for doing that. Not seeing a caution flag come out here. So that's going to mean we are green. 125 machine around. He was having such a good run. Bob, did you see what happened?
I think he might have got the rumble strip. I'd actually have to watch a replay of it. But, man, that's a tough break. The kid was doing really well out here with these Indy machines. I'm going to wind it back on my screen right quick, see if I can figure it out. Just lost control, it looked like. And back here. And gets the outside wall there in that short chute. And, wow, it's kind of weird. They didn't even look just ricocheted in the inside wall, and that was good night, nurse.
Yep, Rumble Shrup will get you. Mark Jackson, second place, a little bit loose in the middle of that corner. He's trying to use some aero as he comes out of 4 to suck up to the 07 machine of Justin Michael. Justin Michael moving a little bit around on the track, not so much, really commanding this lead out front and early on through most of this race. The 07 Justin Michael special event race here at Loose Lug Nuts, doing a really damn good job, Bob, being out front. He seems to be the guy that you want to emulate here on the track, see what he's doing. He may be the guy to beat this evening.
Yeah, he is definitely top notch. And not sure what happened there with Brian Dibble. Fell off these guys. He wasn't too far back. He was gapped about what these guys are right now in the third spot, but now he's falling off 2.5 seconds off the leader. And caution does
Yellow,
fly.
yellow,
I'm
yellow.
not sure what it's for yet.
Looking through the field, we'll try and find it. It's not the 125 machine. I'll give you that. Gosh, I saw a car off the exit of turn 4 there.
Yeah, we're checking the one car. Might be, he's way back on the field here, watching him as I wind it back.
I believe it was Bill Smith Jr. in the 79.
Oh, that's a tough break. Yeah, he was involved in something earlier, too. And wow, we missed it. I'm not sure what happened with Kyle Chadwick. He's 2 laps down.
Probably got involved in something in the back of the pack. Well, he was up front battling early. Hopefully he can get some of those laps back. We got to get the green flag racing, though, Bob, for some of these guys to make the maneuvers, or they're just going to choose to stay out in front of the field. And we'll see these events replay over and over again.
Absolutely. And Crazy Mike, he's falling out of the race. I guess the old broadcaster Jinx hit him hard there, Jeff, and I didn't see what happened with him. I'm going to assume that he and Chadwick were probably involved in the same thing because they're both up front there for a while.
Yeah, that would be my guess. They're Chadwick still on track. I believe John Pansula just off track. We saw him fall back to like 4th spot. Seeing Michael Smith Jr. flip over the front end of another car, making contact with Matthew Hefner there on the replay. I'm seeing it on a delayed end here from the awesome views of Michael D'Amico. But yeah, under caution yet again. We'll head to a quick commercial break and we'll be right back here live on MaxSpeedTV in just a moment, people.
If you're looking for a gift for that special person or just want to treat yourself, check out Expressions by Erica on Facebook.
Cups, hats, t-shirts,
Heat transfer vinyl,
graphics, and much, much more. Treat yourself with a personalized monogram to go in your Yeti cooler or the back of your car.
Erica does it all.
Need something that says I love you for Valentine's Day, your anniversary, or even birthday? Erica has you covered with the best gift for all of those special occasions. Missy from Facebook says, they did an amazing job on what I ordered. They also did it very quickly, even though I had it shipped from South Carolina to Tennessee. I highly recommend them. Thank you, girls.
Also from Facebook, Casey says, great job. And they did it last minute for me since I completely forgot I needed it. Everyone loved it.
Contact Expressions by Erica by calling 843-810-3883 and like us on Facebook.
Expressions by Erica. iRacing, the world's biggest premier in online sim racing, gives you, the driver, an experience of a lifetime in competing against some of the best drivers in the world. All drivers take their hand at each track and they want to look good while putting it up front. Wouldn't you like to do the same? Introducing iWrap, one of the leading online iRacing paint venues, offers you any custom paint that you desire. Show off your sponsors and style while running some of the greatest sim racers out there and look great while pounding the pavement or spinning in the dirt. Any color or any design, no request is too small. From sprint cars to cup cars, they cover anything you want. Want to show off that local venue? Or how about running one of your favorite real-world drivers' paint? iWraps does it all. Custom suits, helmets, cars, and logos. Just ask and they will make it look like $1 million while you're going 1,000,000 miles an hour. iWraps produce high-quality virtual paint designs for iRacing vehicles of all kinds. Search iWraps on Facebook and send a message today to make your iRacing experience more than just making laps in a pre-made paint scheme. iWraps, the top of the line in online racing paint wraps.
All right, everyone, back here live on MaxSpeedTV. Still under caution here in this event. We had a little bit of a pit stop cycle go here on caution. Justin Michael with the lead. Brian Tribble making up some time on pit road. Mark Jackson falling back. He's now in third, at least on this restart. Brandon Thornhill, Christopher Modis involved in that early caution, lap down, got it back. That 011 machine is now up to 5th. Brad Bream is 6th. Dustin Covington 7th. He started 19th. Wes Tallon now back up 8th spot. Matthew Hebner 99. He's in 9th. And the two-time recent Lugnut champion Jeff Merck on the 60 Covington Motorsports machine is in 10th. That is our top 10. I believe pace car lights are out here, Bob. Looking for a green flag run there, buddy.
Yes, we certainly are. And quick update. I'm not sure what happened with Crazy Mike, but he was actually popped out of the server.
Well, must have missed that across my board. I also see Trevor Rudding. We saw him up there mixing it up in the top 5 in that lime green Indy car. He is packed it up for this evening also. Just past the 50 mark, 150 yet to go. Time factor overall here on this event now, as we are having some very short runs. Got to see it coming here. The cautions have been really towards the middle and back. Those guys got to shape up their pass and watch what the leaders out front have been doing. They've had clean racing out front with passing. Excited to see it yet again shape up. Saw the top 3 chase away that last run, though. Maybe something different upcoming, Bob.
Should be, and just trying to pick up some of the chit-chat there on the iRacing chat channel. And Kansas definitely under fire with more storms tonight. Hope everybody out there is safe. Mark Jackson has some concerns with big thunderstorms in his area. Might interfere with his internet connection. Getting ready to get back after it, though, Jeff. I'm excited. Let's get back and get some good racing in here. Justin Michael, Brian Tibble, your front row. Of course, Magic Shoes, Mark Jackson. Rolling off in third, Brandon Thornhill, the dirt ace, in that 4th spot. Pace cars off, and down and away goes
Green
Justin
flag
Michael.
out.
Yep, 07 machine Justin Michael doing his huge run out front. I think this is the largest lead he's gotten to turn 1. Brian Tribble now under fire for 2nd place from Mark Jackson. All these guys have pitted. They're all on fresh shoes here, Bob. We're seeing somewhat of a different run. Brian Tribble really holding back here. Big shakeups going on throughout the field.
Yeah, Mark Jackson definitely trying to get in the tire checks. So Justin Michaels worked down into turn 3. Brian Tribble now under fire for that spot. Big battle right here through 3rd through about 8th spot. We got cars really getting after it. Pretty good. Guy again up high, rubs the wall just a little bit, hangs onto the machine. Well, that was tough. Back out front, Magic Shoes now takes the lead. Does lead that lap as they rocket off into 1.
Yeah, Mark Jackson doing a spectacular job here this evening. He's out there in the clean air with the rest of the leaders, side by side with Justin Michael. Mark not really comfortable down low. I've seen him dip it way too low. Justin Michael getting the good runs off the corner. Mark maybe need to do a little bit of studying behind the 07 machine. Now Brian Tribble in that 22 reels it back up. Got a good run going here for the 22.
Yeah, pretty good run there for Brian Tibble, running third currently. That inside spot, Jeff, I tell you, I was in that spot a few times in those pit parties with the boys, and you get really tight down there. You think you'd be, all good to go. You got the preferred line, but man, that outside car really does take the air right off of you and really cuts you down force and really makes it hard to drive. It's real tricky. Of course, you don't want to slide up and start bumping tires. You bump tires in these open wheel Indy car machines, and it is a whole lot of trouble and with a quickness. Justin Michael now shows the way down in the turn 3. Mark Jackson not able to get it around on the inside. He might actually think better of it and maybe try to get the outside line from him.
Yep, that may be the way to go, or maybe study a little bit more of what Justin Michael's racecraft is. Mark Jackson, a steady second. He tries to get down into turn 1 each time, but Justin Michael rides the middle of the corner every time Mark Jackson goes for the pass. Not this time, says Mark Jackson. Brian Tribble running steady third. Top 3 really hasn't changed in quite a while. Let's look back to here at 4th. I believe that's the 011 of Christopher Modest.
Yeah, Christopher making a return. At one point, he was lugging out on a weekly basis. And, of course, he's had 1 or 2 kids. Well, not he, his wife, of course. That'd be weird if he did. But that's... Of course, those life-changing events definitely reprioritizes what you can do and how much free time you get to spend on the iRacing sim. But a good run here, 4th position, getting the dust off and then getting back after it. Hats off to him for that.
Yep, just behind that 011 machine was the 68 of Brandon Thornhill. He made a pass. I believe that was on Wes Holland. Wes Holland trying to, get some... clean runs here. I don't think he has any fashion cars left for that 4 machine. Sorry for the little bit of yawn there. Long race ahead of us still. Lap 57 upcoming for these guys. Justin Michael still out front, yet he's not getting away as much as he did last time, Bob.
Nah, not really. Guys are kind of strung out. Of course, I'm watching Wes Holland and Jeffrey Mark, our 2 most recent championships, of course, of our Truck, Xfinity, and Cup Series. And that action comes back there, was it week after next, Jeff? Thursday night trucks are back. For Saturday night, we'll have our Xfinity Series, and Sunday night, the Cup cars hit the track here at Loose Lug Nuts Racing. There'll be a lot of great racing here for this summer season. Of course, you can catch the action on Thursday and Sunday nights at our good friends network there at ASN. There'll be a lot of good action to check out. And if you're an iRacer here watching our broadcast, either live or on demand, and you're interested in racing with Loose Lug Nuts Racing, check them out on iRacing and send a request to join. And check them out on the good old Bookface as well. Great league. I've been a part of this league for, well, golly, it's almost 6 years now. I can't believe it.
Yep, just past the 5-year mark of Loose Lug Nuts on iRacing. Wes Holland scooping up that special event. What a race he had there at Charlotte. Now going to be returning to Charlotte on the next special event here with MaxSpeedTV and Loose Lug Nuts Racing. 1, 2, 3, Justin Michael, Mark Jackson, Brian Tribble. Back is 4th. A little bit under fire here. Brandon Thornhill now making a move on the 011 of Christopher Modest.
Yeah, down to the inside, down here in turn 1, trying to gain a spot on Christopher Mattis. And not really getting tight down there, not able to get that roll that he needs. Let's see what Mattis has got on that high side. Side by side still. We got one car there trying to pick a winner there with the draft.
I believe that is Wes Holland.
Yeah. Didn't seem like he helped much either, too. He went down to the inside and didn't give him much help either.
No. Wes picking a pony in that race. Just trying to see who messes up, I guess. But like I said, Wes running with minimal faster cars left, in my opinion. But using both those guys.
It's 2.5 miles. 2.5 miles side by side there for Thornhill and Mattis. Now Mattis able to clear him and get down in front. Now he's under fire. Thornhill's under fire for working Wes Holland as they work down the back straightaway.
Yeah, Thornhill lost a lot of speed. West now looking to the inside, maybe choosing better. Nope, he's going for the later pass through this corner. Pushes Thornhill up the track. Not making the pass.
Yeah, he's definitely probably playing a big conservative guard here with Adam Mulligans and fast repairs and such. He's got to be extremely careful. You don't want to bang that car up at all. Out front, Justin Michael still showing the way, guys. We haven't forgot about him. He's actually pulled it out to about half a second over Magic Cheese Mark Jackson. We're still watching this action here with the 4-car. Breckham, West Holland out of Colorado Springs, Colorado. Great place out there. Looks like a nice country. I hope to get out there someday. Brandon Thornhill able to stretch it out now this time down the back straightaway. Gains a great draft off of Mattis. Might see these guys get back after it again, Jeff.
Yep. Chris in that 011 machine holding fourth after trading spots with Thornhill. Thornhill losing a little bit of speed. West just still sneaking up behind him. A little bit stretched out here yet again. Passing at a premium at this stage. Now yellow on the front stretch.
Yeah, back in the pack, we have some action. Look at it, the 44 there, Mr. D'Amico, excuse me. I got a Coors Light going, great beer, getting a little burpy.
No, just Ray Richard touching tires with the guy on the outside. The guy on the outside can't go anywhere but to the wall. The guy on the outside didn't get who it was. It might have been Gene Rogers. He was defending his spot on the track.
Yeah, it's almost like he lost concentration, Jeff. Didn't know he was there, to be honest with you. I'm going to suspect Ray Richard, pretty good racer, and I'm just going to guess it was just a quick mental error. And on that note, Jeff, these long races, these guys don't have the G-force and the heat and all that shit. But, man, just like the real racers, these guys still have that mental strain, Jeff, that focus and concentration that's needed. And, these guys have been on the sim for multiple hours now. Of course, we had 1 hour practice to kick this session off. And before that, there was a 2-hour practice. So these guys have been at it for quite a while here. And that mental fatigue can kick in at times and create a situation like we just saw.
I'm watching that replay back. I believe that was Gene Rogers on the outside of Ray Richard. It looks like Gene may have came down a little bit, but Ray really had him pinched up towards the wall, so maybe a little bit of 50-50 split there on that caution of who was at fault. Gene coming down a bit, and Ray not giving too much room with these open-wheel cars. But yet again, once I'll say it, these are our stock car drivers knocking off the dust on the Indy cars, bringing them out here like we do once or twice a year at Loose Lug Nuts Racing. So a little bit of a learning curve somewhat for our guys here, and they're doing a decent job at it. We've only seen, I believe, one big pileup, but the caution after caution has got to be weighing on the admin's minds and on the driver's minds.
Absolutely, and the crew chief's minds as well, Jeff. They got to start being aware of what we have for time and laps left as they plan their pitch strategies.
A lot of these guys down on pit road, very fast pit service times is the Indy car. 07 with that number 1 box gets away quickly.
Yeah, no, it's crazy fast, Jeff. How fast these stops are. When you pull into the box, car goes up, man. And then the great thing iRacing did with the graphics, Jeff, is you got the pit guys, running around the car and all that stuff, and the guy throws the air wrench across and everything. It's unbelievable what iRacing has done with those little neat graphic details. I know you haven't been behind the wheel, probably haven't seen that firsthand, but man, it is badass.
Yeah, iRacing making great updates. Update upcoming, I believe, here shortly. Week 13 of iRacing on. So we got updates on iRacing. iRacers out there, prepare. The download time can absolutely stink, and you don't want to be caught trying to get into a race and have to go through and do some updates. So be aware of the upcoming scheduled updates for iRacing after week 13.
Yeah, a couple of big notable things coming too, Jeff. Finally, an update to both the weekly SK mod and tour mods coming in this build. As well as Pro 4 and Pro 2 trucks and 2 different circuits for those vehicles. Of course, my league, Hold My Beer Racing, will be offering a couple of races with those vehicles on Wednesday nights. A little bit later on, after the guys get some seat time with that. I'm looking forward to that, Jeff. That is going to be really crazy and wild stuff. And one of the things they're working on, they weren't sure if it's going to be ready in time, Jeff, and I hope they get it out. But green-white checker finishes coming to iRacing, if not in this build, in the very, very near future. So a lot of good stuff still coming out. It's amazing how much this thing's grown in the 5 years that I've been a part of it.
Yeah, it's only different still under caution here. Talking about iRacing, out there in YouTube, if you want to comment, go ahead. How many years have you been iRacing out there, YouTubers? I know we got our longtime viewer, Michelle, who probably hasn't turned the wheel on iRacing, but been watching iRacing for a long time. A lot of guys out there, just, tremendous amount of time, and all dedicated here to iRacing and our individual leagues and whatnot. Really makes this sim work really well, and they've got dirt out. That was the biggest thing a couple years back. Now they're starting to improve it, Bob. Looking for no yellow flags on it.
Jeff, you break it up there a little bit, but yeah, the dirt racing is fun. Of course, there's going to be some enhancements in this build to the dirt particles as well. Of course, Mr. D'Amico just informed me All Pro Racing is going to be doing Pro 2 and Pro 4 trucks. I'm not sure of their day schedules and all of that stuff, but good stuff happening over there as well. Field under caution here, beginning lap 66 this time by. Everybody's been in, re-upped on tires. Got these things, fresh Firestone tires, that is, in this series, not Goodyears like NASCAR's run. And filled up, full of fuel, and should be getting ready to get back after it very shortly. I believe lights will be out on the iRacing Mustang. Nope, fake news. Not this time.
Nope.
Hope
you're live.
Yeah, well, we are.
Live there, Bob.
We did have one car taking the advantage of this caution to get a wave around and get one lap back.
I did not catch that number, but yeah, you are right. Justin Michael's going to lead us off yet again.
I believe that was one of our early leaders. Cool Kyle Chadwick making his way around the track. Will regain at the tail.
I'll put him on the lead lap there, Bob.
Yep, 18th spot. 18 cars now on the lead lap here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. This is, of course, Loose Lug Nuts special race, the Indy 500. A lot of good times. Still yet to come in this night. Lap 66. It'll be lap 67 when we get going to green.
Yep. Now the long straight, the back straight through turns 3 and 4 will still have to pace. Justin Michael, like I said, out front. Mark Jackson, heavy there in second. He's looking to make something go here, trying to get out front himself. I think he's led at least one lap as they have crisscrossed on the front straightaway a few times. Christopher Modest now up there, as is Wes Holland. Brian Tribble had been out there on those old tires and some gas, so he has fallen back. Short caution was our last.
I'll tell you, one guy to watch too in that manly purple pink car rather is Matty Happy Havener. He's a guy that really loves IndyCar racing, does a lot of official series action. He could be a guy to watch. Chris Michael now on that lap, down and away, draws out a nice lead here. Excuse Mark Jackson now under fire from Chris Mattis down in the turn 1. Field work at lap 67.
Yep, Michael out to that lead. There goes Mattis. He's up to second. It stinks being out the outside restart position. Mark Jackson just getting train wrecked out here with the amount of cars trying to make a pass on him.
Yeah, getting made up and didn't have anybody right in front of him to give him a tow. He gets down there and gets toe off. Wrecking West Holland. Look at that run he got up on the West Holland through turns 3. And as they head off into turn 4, the one bouncing off the wall, not catching the number. It's like twin cars here, 2 guys with the same paint job. And looks like he's going to make his way down to the pit road. Up front, though, big battle for that lead now. Justin Michael Mattis side by side down to the turn one. Magic Shoes Mark Jackson ready to strike with Wreckham West Holland right in his mirrors.
Yep. 07 strongest on the outside, but this is the first time these guys behind him have had help. Evan is the lone dog out here. Nope.
That was Dustin Covington that was reporting on that had trouble there. And I believe he did make his way into the pits.
Dustin Covington was in the 48 machine. Modest now ringing out second. That will be Wes Holland up to third. Excuse me, Mark Jackson.
I was going to say, just check to make sure I was live. Take a shot, Jeff. Anyway, Mattis now trying to reel in Justin Michael. We've seen Justin Michael really be probably the guy that might get this done because he's been up front pretty much the whole night, Jeff. But we've seen comers and goers here at the front all putting up challenges. No! Wes gets turned! Oh, epic wreck! Oh, a bunch of guys involved. Not sure who that was, but they slapped tires and sent him. Brandon Thornhill sending him right around as they slapped tires as they worked in the turns 3 and 4 that end of the speedway. Tough break. That's going to probably end it for Wes tonight.
Yep, a lot of drivers involved in that one actually here. Wheeled it back, trying to see what happened. Thornhill just up the track over the front end of Wes. Other cars involved. Gosh, Bob, that happened in the front of the pack here and took out some good competitors.
Yeah, just looking at it, Wes comes down a little bit. Thornhill's there and contact. And that's a tough break. Not confirmed that he doesn't have any fast repairs, but we suspect that he does. Brad Ream, I think, was involved in that as well. Trying to get everybody that was involved here and caught up with what happened. Please panic. Robert Mattis involved. Backing this up just a little bit. Dustin Covington wasn't involved, but he was already in the back. But multiple guys involved here on lap 68.
Yep, side-by-side racing. A little bit of a move up there from the 68 into the 4, touches tires, goes over his nose, throws yet another caution out on the field.
Yeah, Brian Bazal, another one of the drivers involved as well. Still trying to get everybody caught up that was involved here.
Looks like the 60
Jeffrey
machine.
Merck, too. Jeffrey Merck. We have both of our champions from this winter season caught up into that. And Jeffrey Merck has packed it up and called it a night. And on that note, we do have, it looks like most of the field back down on pit road, getting some more fresh Firestones and topping the tanks off.
Yep. Brian Tribble staying out, though, along with 2 other cars, to my knowledge. Justin Michael, long pit stop from the 07, maybe needed to use the restroom.
Well, that will happen. These guys now some hour and 23 minutes into the race, plus that 1 hour of practice. And like I said, these guys have been at it quite a while.
No fear, the 07 will be back up front. Maybe he sat in, maybe he had to use the restroom. It doesn't matter. They're still not even halfway. Bob wheedled the field down through concession of some of these drivers. Chadwick now back 1 lap down himself. A little bit of a rough play going on here.
Yeah, tough break. And down here looking at Wes's, of course, he's a buddy of mine. So car just going to confirm that he did just use a fast repair, Jeff, so he was not out. 4 is back in it.
Yeah, well, as long as he was able not to tow, I think he'll be safe there on the lead lap.
Yeah, showing him last car in the lead lap. I think he may have towed because the car did sit there for a short time. Before that beautiful new body was popped on it by the guys in the F4 crew.
Well, with Chadwick and Dustin Covington being the only guys 1 lap down, even if he goes a lap down, race thus far has led to guys being able to get back on the lead lap. A lot of talking going on from us out here tonight, Bob. It's been a rough evening, but a lot of vocabulary used. A big shout out to everyone out there on YouTube watching. Thank you for tuning in. Maybe suffering through a little bit of a spell here at Loose Lug Nuts Racing as we put on the Indy 500 full 200 laps here tonight. Thank you all for tuning in, giving a view, watching live here on MaxSpeedTV. Promise there's better racing ahead. Well, I'll promise it. Can't, necessarily confirm it, but it will be better.
I think the racing's been great, Jeff. Actually, we've had some competitive racing, and everything we've seen is product of competitive racing. So, pretty happy with what I'm seeing overall. We'd like a few less cautions. Of course, quick recap. We have Brian Tibble there in Nat 22 out front. Christopher Mattis in second. Magic Shoes Mark Jackson third. Matthew Heavener in fourth now. Chris Voiles in fifth. And somebody might be asking, I'm sure in the background, where did he go?
Upside down, inside out, and he drove it around the track there, Bob, to get a fast repair.
I was talking about Justin Michael. Where did he go? He's in 11th.
Oh, well, yeah, bathroom break time on that pit stop.
10-4. It's furthest he's been back, I think, all night.
Yeah, he may have a little bit of work out of him, a little bit of scary situation, at least, there for the 07 Justin Michael being in the mix of the backpack there and not being out front in that clean air.
Yeah, absolutely. A few more cars drop out, Jeff. We could probably send D'Amico out there and he'll get a top 10.
Yeah, he's logged in. He'd have to put down quite a few laps, but he'd get it done.
I think he could, man. He's pretty good behind the wheel.
Yeah, I think that's the last time D'Amico ran full-time here at Loose Lug Nuts was the IndyCar series that Jason Hughes made himself a champion in for that. And one of the two races he's won at Loose Lug Nuts Racing, I believe, was under an IndyCar. Now, D'Amico, you can tell us if that's true or not, but I believe it is. Super late model and an IndyCar win, if my memory serves me right, for Mr. Loose Lug Nuts Racing. So he's turned some laps under this IndyCar himself. Another open wheel silver, Mr. D'Amico saying. So, we're doubled up here, coming back to yet another green. Brian Tribble, Christopher Modis in the 011 machine, Mark Jackson, Matthew Heavener, Voiles, a different top five. Not saying Justin Michael out front. We remember how Brian Tribble started this last one.
I tell you, the fans can only hear the back and forth here on the iRacing channel.
Oh, is that what's going on?
Oh, it's priceless.
It happens. But Brian Tribble, as I mentioned, was slow out of the restart. May happen yet again as he restarted that way the first time. Maybe a little bit of throw if he does different here. The second time, we'll see pace car, iRacing Mustang down towards pit road. See what Brian Tribble does out front. Walking him up. There he goes. Ready, he takes it off. Flag. Oh, we got a car around. Two cars around.
Yeah, a couple cars involved there. Still green for the moment. And Brian Tribble does get away. Really brought him down kind of slow. That might have contributed to that wreck there in the back of the pack. Guys getting antsy, spinning tires and stuff. These things can get a little hairy. But that first gear start, Jeff, I don't know if you remember doing that with the Indy cars, but sometimes they get pretty hairy. Now, Matt Heffner now for his first time of the race, making his way into the top three in that very manly-looking pink race car.
Yep. Battle for first upcoming here. That is Tribble and Modis. They are battling it out. Heffner, and I believe that is Chris Voiles. Heffner, a little bit of cut off there on Chris Voiles. He's going to have a dive down through that corner. Mark Jackson, though, and the black machine rocketing up towards the fourth spot.
Yeah, just a quick update. That was, I believe Ray Richer and McFarlane, I believe, were involved in that gunning it up deal there in the back of the pack and spinning out on that start.
Yep. Modest out in front of now. Pass for the lead completed. We'll see how long it can be maintained. Pit road, not sure what that's about.
Not sure about that either, but now Mark Jackson trying to get around there. Happy Heavener in that mainly pink car, taking a look down to the inside, get that draft up. Little pressure on him from Chris Foyles. We saw him have trouble earlier, and what a great regroup using that fast repair, and now back out here in fifth, Jeff.
Yeah, really trouble. If you're going to do it on the first caution, I guess, for the 011 machine. He was involved in that deal. Now having to battle, choosing to go low on the front stretch down to the bricks. I think Tribble may have led that one. Nope, Modest did. He gets a somewhat of a different view into turn one through that corner. A lot of the guys just shaping up behind him. Heavener rounding out the third spot. Though I will say the 07 Justin Michael is back up in the mix of this. He is 6 on my board.
Yeah, showing Justin Michael in 6 and working his way back to the front. And watching him, he's right there behind Majesty's Mark Jackson, taking a peek to the high side as they work out of turn 4, trying to get the draft from Chris Voiles. Now falls back in behind them. And the cars are kind of slinking their way around this front straightaway, trying to break each other's draft as best they can.
Yeah, that machine really having trouble with the side-by-side pass we've seen on the bottom. Chris Voiles maintaining that top the last lap. Now stretches out a lead in front of Mark Jackson for the 4th spot. There they go doing that slinky thing you talked about. Justin Michael's now going below Mark Jackson.
Yeah, and he will take that spot rather easily. Mark Jackson now gets down to the bottom and shuts off. Looks like, who was that? Justin Michael, Mark Jackson, Brandon Thornhill. Thornhill looked like it was trying to make a move, and looks like, is that the Holland machine up there?
Wes Holland is a little bit further back.
There he is.
A lap down.
A lot of action up here front. Justin Michael now working his way to the 4th spot from that 11th starting spot on that grid. Doing a good job getting back to the front.
Yeah, he's patiently making smart moves on the track. The smart pass.
Contact with
touches.
Matt Heaven up in the wall. Catches Chris Boyle. Spins him around. Caution back out here at the Brickyard.
Clear your stuff. Clear your head.
Yep, going to have to take a peek at that, Bob. Looks like maybe Michael came up into Heavener.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. And race control calls these pretty tight. Yeah, watching that from the chopper cam, does look like he comes up, gives a little shove there to Happy Heavener, who's probably not very happy right now, and we'll see if race control does call him out on that. They've been putting guys in the back for causing things like that.
Yep, I'll see what happens with that. I believe Heavener had to tow. He's trying to get it in the box and reset. Having a little bit tough time turning that car and getting it in reverse is the 99 machine. Getting a fast repair used at least.
There he is.
Well, looking on Mr. D'Amico's end there, though, Heavener could have maybe squeezed the 07 of Justin Michael just a bit down towards the bottom, causing the tire contact that we saw. But, Matthew Heavener and Chris Boyle's getting the heaviest contact of all during that caution event.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And guys working their way down the pit road. Brian Tribble does elect to stay out on this one, and might be a good time to step away real quick as we do work lap 80, guys, and take a quick break and thank our sponsors and commercials.
iRacing, the world's biggest premier in online sim racing, gives you, the driver, an experience of a lifetime in competing against some of the best drivers in the world. All drivers take their hand at each track and they want to look good while putting it up front. Wouldn't you like to do the same? Introducing iWraps, one of the leading online iRacing paint venues, offers you any custom paint that you desire. Show off your sponsors and style while running some of the greatest sim racers out there, and look great while pounding the pavement or spinning in the dirt. Any color or any design, no request is too small. From sprint cars to cup cars, they cover anything you want. Want to show off that local venue? Or how about running one of your favorite real-world drivers' paint? iWraps does it all. Custom suits, helmets, cars, and logos. Just ask and they will make it look like $1 million while you're going 1,000,000 miles an hour. iWraps produce high-quality virtual paint designs for iRacing vehicles of all kinds. Search iWraps on Facebook and send a message today to make your iRacing experience more than just making laps in a pre-made paint scheme. iWraps, the top of the line in online racing paint wraps.
All right, back here live on MaxSpeedTV. Caution number, I'm not keeping count, but Brian Tribble maintaining his lead, staying out. A few guys pitting. We'll see how it all shakes up. Some new guys out to the front, new guys to the back. A couple cars off track. Matthew Hefner disconnecting from the server. Run on his part. Alvin, good to see him out and about in loose lug nuts. Justin Michael was given the EOL due to that caution. I'm sure he'll recover nicely. So we hear yet again pacing under caution. Brandon Thornhill up to second, still in it there in third. Long race yet still ahead of us, Bob.
Yeah, just getting back actually from a pit stop. Did we go green and right back to caution?
No. We're still into the same
okay.
Bob.
I was going to say, I just went and took a leak. I wasn't gone that long. And quick update, though. Matt Hefner has disconnected, and I'm not sure if you told the fans, but Justin Michael did get an end-of-line penalty, EOL, as we call it in the business. Basically, I believe, 4 results of that caution.
All right. Mr. D'Amico off to take his pit stop, refuel his Gatorade. We'll see. He'll probably make it back in time.
I'm going to call that fake news. I don't believe he's drinking Gatorade, Jeff.
Whatever it may be. Hope everyone's having a good holiday weekend here as we start to double up yet again. Memorial Day weekend, remember what it's truly about, people. Being with your family, celebrating the lives lost of soldiers, those serving, have served, given, and those that have given all for our country here, the greatest country in the world, the United States of America. Happy holidays to everyone for this Memorial Day weekend. Hopefully giving a little bit of a sit down, a little bit of time here to view this Indy 500 race here at MaxSpeedTV, Loose Lug Nuts Racing. A little bit of a different type of race as we get into the Indy cars out of the stock cars. So looking to see more green flag runs, longer green flags run here, Bob.
Yeah, and we're definitely starting to talk a little bit more about being up against that clock. 140, 1 hour and 40 minutes into a 2 hour and 55 minute session. Jeff, you got that Common Core calculator, of course. Showing about an hour and 15
I'll let you know
minutes.
when we get an hour.
Yeah, 1 hour and 15 minutes left. So I believe, Jeff, that this is actually going to come down to the clock and in this race, and unfortunately not 200 laps. But you never know. We can go green from here on out. It's racing and anything can happen. And what's about to happen right now is that iRacing Mustang is going to get out of the way. Brian Tribble, Brandon Thornhill, your front row as they lead them down to begin lap 84.
Be ready, green flag.
Yep, and Tribble using the start at the line. This time it's starting from the green flag here. I hope everyone knows that by now that's racing around him that he chooses to do it that way. A little bit better start. Some cars fly off on the tail end of that field. Good. Modest making some moves there for third, blocking the position.
Contact! We have a car up on the wall out of turn 2. Rolling down the back straightaway, I believe. Robert Mattis keyed up. He might have had something to do with that.
Yeah, looks like Ronald Klein could be wrong there. He might have been.
Yeah, I
already
believe
out.
that was wrong flying. Still,
I noticed the Air Force sticker as he went upside down. So. Oh, it was Brad Ream. Wow.
Oh, tough bat.
That was right. That
He's a pretty good
looked
guy. I
like
like racing with him.
Ron Klein, Yeah. Yeah, he's good with those open wheels, Brad Ream. Tough to see him go over there. No caution out on the field.
Yeah, he must have towed as soon as he could and kept the green for us. I appreciate that. Sure, all the guys out here on track do. We have that battle for the lead, though. Brandon Thornhill now taking a peek on Brian Triple, and we got Mark Jackson squirrely out of turn 3 and around.
Caution.
Got that rumble
Kind of
strip
walk me through a
center.
lap here, please.
Other black car around. Tough break for Magic Shoes Mark Jackson.
Yeah, that car is completely torn up from the nose and rear. Hopefully he can get it going. I'd hate to see him tow here. So we struggle through this race as a driver. It's got to be disheartening when you take huge hits like that. And what happened in front of him with the leaders of Brian Tribble and Brandon Thornhill almost making contact and slowing up.
Yeah, and he got down there. Just looked like he nicked that rumble strip, that concrete little patch there between the grass and the asphalt, just a little bit, and he got squirrely. I thought he was going to hang on to it, but not able to do so in a tough break. He did actually, I think, tow into his pit stall. We haven't talked much about him getting torn up, so I believe he may have a fast repair left, Jeff.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. He's going to have to tow, so that's going to put him back wherever he... the miracle here is probably for Brad Ream, who had to tow himself. He waited a long time for a caution, didn't get one, had to tow. Mark Jackson towed there. We're clicking drivers down too, more so than we are laps at this point, Bob.
Yeah, definitely attrition has played a factor, and Mark Jackson has decided to pack it up and head back home to the beautiful state of Kansas. Of course, Jason Hughes, another one of our Kansas competitors. Jason told me about Kansas, never been there, Jeff, but said you can watch a dog run away for a day and a half. It's so flat there. I can't even imagine a place like that, being up here in beautiful New Hampshire with all the mountains and hills we got.
Yep, Kansas a little bit under fire here this evening. Yesterday, Oklahoma under fire from the weather, so be safe out there in the plain states. Getting up there into the Illinois, probably south of Chicago area right now, too. Long line of thunderstorms. Stay safe. Keep your weather radios on there, people. Be ready to get your family to safety if need be.
Yeah, absolutely. Safety first in those deals, and very blessed to not have that kind of weather here. We have our other shitty weather, but golly, Jeff, I can't even imagine. Of course, on this caution, just a quick update. Rackham West Holland did get the lucky dog. He's worked his way around the 2.5-mile Indianapolis Speedway, and we'll be back on the lead lap. Pretty good break here for the fourth car. That will bring us up to 10 cars, it looks like, on the lead lap. And fans, while we have a moment over there at YouTubeville, 3 big ones tomorrow. Of course, the morning starts with coffee at F1 Monaco. Of course, we have the real Indy 500 tomorrow, and then the World 600 in the evening. Who do you guys like in any of those races that you care about, or all 3 of them? Tell us who your picks are.
Yeah, I'm pretty disconnected from the racing world as NASCAR looks to shore up what it wants to do for the future there, Bob. Really, my driver's gone, so maybe that's why I'm disconnected for a bit. Like a lot of people, what do you got to do for the next generation to get them connected to drivers? Who knows what the answer is at NASCAR? Maybe some different races here and there, and that's what they're doing in the NASCAR division, mixing up the standard schedule and give us a new look for this year.
Yeah, I tell you, I'm going with Harvick in the 600, Ed Carpenter in the 500, and I don't follow F1 very intensely, but there's 2 Mercedes. There's one guy I don't like in one of them, and the other guy that's won 3 races. I'm going with him. I can't remember his name. Botas, I think it is. I'll go with him.
Is Schumacher still running?
Oh, wow, you're way disconnected.
Yeah, I know. No, I know Schumacher's
Good,
not running.
Jesus. Turn the TV on once in a while, Jeff. Good Lord. You got one?
Yeah. I got a TV out here in the boondocks, yeah. It stays off for the most part, but still under caution, pacing around Indianapolis.
Yeah, Jeff's way out there in the boondocks. He has to use a flashlight when he goes to the bathroom, folks. Tough deal out there in the boondocks.
Yeah. Out here in beautiful southern Mississippi, a little bit out in the woods myself. Internet connection sometimes a little bit poor, but we're here tonight commentating on this Loose Lugness Indianapolis 500 brought here live on MaxSpeedTV. Looking towards the next green flag event. Billy Wise logging in on YouTube. Good to see you out there, YouTube there, Billy.
Yeah, man, I've raced with Billy in a while, Jeff. Great guy. I have a lot of fun with him. He's been doing a lot with that Sim Possible League. Of course, Billy does have a wheelchair. Great company, though, the folks over at Sim Possible. They set those wheels up, Jeff. I think you've probably seen it on the book face there. So he's got the lever for his gas and brake. And, man, what a great thing those guys do. Get those guys out there and give them the equipment they need so they can come out and be on iRacing and then compete rather well and very competitively. Really great sim racer as well. Big shout out, Billy. My nickname for him is Pepper because that guy, man, he grows this mean pepper garden every year down there in Florida. That's where he's from. And, man, he grows the hell out of some peppers, jalapenos. And I don't even know what the hell they're all called. They're all hot.
Yeah, Billy, I think last time I saw him was at East Bay Raceway Park up there at the front stretch. So it's been a long time since I've seen Billy at a track. I'm sure he's traveling around with his buddies there through Florida, Georgia, Alabama area, doing some sponsorship deals. Wise guys. Hope he's got that thing still going. Doubling up here yet again. Brian Tribble, 22 Machine, still out front. Brandon Thornhill, second. Justin Michael was given an EOL, but with all the shakeup of drivers going one way or another, he is still yet fifth.
Yeah, Brad Bream, just a quick update. After that incident, he did go ahead and disconnect and call it a night. And, wow, Brian Bazell shown in third. Excuse me, folks. Yeah, Brian Bazell, Chris Voiles in fourth, Justin Michael fifth. Mattis up in sixth. Definitely some comers and goers here in the front of the field. Brian Tribble definitely got a stranglehold on his stake being up in the front of this. We'll see how he does with it. Lights are out on that wonderful-looking iRacing Mustang. Lap 90. We're going to be rolling off here. Lap 90. And quick update. Just about 1 hour and 50 minutes of the 2 hours and 55 minutes allotted for this race. So time is an issue for sure.
All right. Waiting on Tribble. He's going to fire at the line. Here we go. Green flag waves. Tribble fires. Thornhill fires. Car's a little bit spreading out here. Chris Voiles now back up in the mix. It looks like his car there doing well. Now battling it off for third. I believe that was Brian Bazell trying to dive it low for second, not completing the pass.
Yeah, Bazell making his first visit to the top three here, and will get right in Thornhill's tire tracks as they work down into turn three and challenging Brian Tribble for that second spot. Let's see what Brian Tribble and Bazell got here as they work over in the turn four. Side by side, the two Brians go. Brian squared right here, look out. And now Chris Voiles looking for a place to go.
Yep, I thought about shooting the gap there. Decided better of it. Just pokes in there behind Bazell. Thornhill now out to a good, comfortable lead. Tribble scoots up to third. We're about single filing out. Now comes tires and passing events. McFarland making a pass there in the back with another driver. Wow, look, they're trying to break the draft out front there for Brandon Thornhill.
Yeah, trying to break that draft. You get too aggressive with that, though, you might hurt yourself. Don't get back up there and get that nice entry and apex into the corner. Look who's back here, lurking in fifth spot. Justin Michael definitely going to be back up here in the mix here very soon. And now Chris Boyle takes a look down to the inside of Brian Tibble, trying to make a move around that 22 Goodyear machine.
Yeah, Chris Boyle involved in at least one incident I know of, almost touched tires there. The 22 machine gets down low on the back stretch. He tucks now up behind as Thornhill gets into his corner. He was down low too. Thornhill still leading us off with Brian Bazell. Brian Bazell, best spot he's been all day in that 24 machine. Covington Motorsports 24. He's got the Haviland, I believe, sponsor on that deal. Wow, really trading arrow now down below Brandon Thornhill.
Yeah, Brandon Thornhill doing everything he could. Really aggressive too with that blocking attempt and breaking of the draft. Able to hold off Bazell, and great stamina on Bazell's part. He and the boys there from Covington Motorsports all got together today. We're actually at Charlotte Motor Speedway for the Xfinity Series race, and they told me it was 98 degrees after being out at the track all day. Still hanging on tough here on the iRacing Sim. Great job by Brian. Now challenging Thornhill. Slides up the track a little bit. Almost contact between those two drivers as they battle for the lead. Brian Tibble now sticking his nose in this mix. It is almost 3 wide as they head off down in the turn 1.
Yep. Odd man now was Bazell there. That may leave too much room for Chris Voiles. No, Chris Voiles doesn't take too much advantage of it. He might here goes. Yep, there he goes. Oh, contact!
Oh, hard into the inside wall. Brian Bazell destroys that car. Still green, still green. Hope he tows it. Keeps us green. That was a tough break.
Yeah, a little bit of diving and dodging too much out here as these guys made contact. Whittling down another car under green flag still is this event. Brian Tribble back out front just by the nose at the line. Thornhill back to second. Chris Boyle sneaking up to third now.
Yeah, Chris Boyle's not only sneaking up the third, trying to sneak in the second spot out of turn 2, side by side with Brandon Thornhill. As that battle persists, and in there, we do have the guy that's really been out in front of this race most of the night, Justin Michael, trying to get back up to the point.
Yeah, he's been out in there. No one's been able to touch him, but he's battling through the 4th spot right now behind Chris Voiles. Chris Voiles got a good run here. He almost wants to shoot the gap yet again. Brian Tribble blocking low. Thornhill up high. Chris Voiles has nowhere to go at the line.
Wow, look at that dive down to the inside of Justin Michael. I'm not sure who that was, but that guy was hauling ass down the damn straightaway and almost made up a lot of spots.
Yeah, that was Modest, I believe, in the 0-1-1.
Yeah, it was Mattis, yeah.
Boy, still leading.
He got a hold of that draft, man. That thing just took off down straightaway. We'll see what happens this time by. Of course, we do have Boyles and Tibble there side by side out of turn 4. Looks like the 22 is going to lose out a little bit. Now comes on the fire from Justin Michael. Now 3 wide as they head off down into turn 1.
Justin Michael using all the track right there to get past Brian Tribble in that 22. Tribble going to lose another spot, looks like, to Kyle Chadwick.
Yeah, Chadwick, who was a lap down earlier, making his way back up into the mix. Great rebound. Like I said, we've seen comers and goers all night. It's pretty wild to watch. And a few spots back of him, we have Wes Hall back on the lead lap, too, trying to make his way back up here in a very patient manner, as he is most certainly out of fast repairs at this juncture. Up front, though, it's Brandon Thornhill as they do work. Lap 98 closing in on that halfway mark, Jeff, nearing almost just a mere 100 laps to go.
Yep, 100 big ones still yet to go on the board with time consideration. We are now within the 1 hour mark. Whittled down the cars, less than 10 cars on the lead lap at this juncture of the race. Brandon Thornhill now out front cruising with Chris Voiles, and Justin Michael now up to third. The guy you want to watch is Justin Michael in the 07 as he tries to get around the 009.
Yeah, Justin Michael has done a great job here tonight. And that top three is kind of actually broken out from Christopher Mattis in that fourth spot just a little bit. And we are now just inside of 1 hour remaining, about 58 minutes left. I don't think we're going to get this 200 laps rather done here, Jeff.
It's going to be close if they stay green, but we still got pit stops yet to go if it stays green. And it's about 40 to 45 seconds on these old tires around this 2.5 mile track, Bob.
That it is. Still a ways to go. Top three now single file as they head off through turns 1 and 2 on lap 100. We will complete that halfway mark. Just quick updates. I'm showing Wes Holland disconnected.
Yeah, I'm seeing that too. Maybe involved in an incident that we did not see as they got strung out. 4 machine off the track now. Keep whittling down drivers. Not sure how many are actually connected at this point and on track, Bob, as we just passed the halfway mark.
I'm looking at about 12 still connected to the server, not including myself and D'Amico.
Of course, like might kill Bob. We don't know. We'll have to wait and see 100 laps from now if it does or not. Chris Voiles now on the back bumper.
And D'Amico is going to come on the track in the last 10 laps, he's claiming, but I don't know if we're going to get to those. Whoa, look out. We almost had contact there. And Brandon Thornhill reporting a mechanical issue with his wheel pedal set. His brake pedal hung up, is what he's claiming there. Looks like it's back underway and okay, though. But almost made contact with Justin Michael down the front straightaway, and that's the story he was given anyway.
Yeah, well, passed first. Chris Voiles now, good to see him. We saw him have quite a tumble there early on, maybe even twice, Bob. I'm not sure at this point. It's all ran together. But that 009 is now completed way back up front, running first, but he's being hunted down now by the 07 of Justin Michael.
Yeah, the 07, we've seen Justin really do really well here tonight. Yeah, that was a hell of a tumble that Voiles took, and I'll tell you, if he had VR on, the Oculus Swift like I wear, great product, hope he closed his eyes, because that would be, that's one that can get you if you got the VR on and make you real motion sickness when you get in one of those tumbles.
Yeah, that is a possibility to throw those goggles on. Brian Tribble now back up to third. Justin Michaels might be laying off Chris Voiles a little bit here. I know they are teammates, but that has allowed the 22 machine to close the gap after passing, I believe it was Christopher Modis or Brandon Thornhill back there. So 22 now back up to third with a little bit of a gap change. Now the 009 and the 07 put on some speed and break some draft from that 22.
Yeah, 22 will be making his way, as well as Brandon Thornhill this time by. They're going to be making pit stops, guys. Didn't catch if they pitted last time. It hasn't been that long, so these guys are pitting here. Not sure if they've got that timed out. Top
there
two
goes
do
22.
stay out. Fuel run we projected was about 30 laps. At least that's what I was told by some of the guys. Didn't sound like the guys actually had nailed down that fuel number in the multiple practice sessions this week, however. I believe those two guys did stay out on that last caution, which would put them at a little deficit to our front two. However, again, that time factor is there, of course, as we are just inside of 55 minutes remaining in this session. Quick update to Dustin Covington, one of the great drivers from Covington Motorsports out of Salty, North Carolina, has disconnected and called it a night. Good guy, good stock car driver. Definitely not having the night he wanted here at Indianapolis. Leaders do rocket past Brian Tribble as he makes his way back onto the speedway. Chris Voiles, Justin Michael, your top two. as they work lap 106.
Yep, Brian Tribble goes a lap down, so we see the time and speed difference from pit road and green flag pit stops. Brian Tribble playing a different fuel strategy game. We've seen him stay out and pit at different occasions than maybe some of our leaders, but leaders maintain the same 009 Chris Voiles rocketing out here. We're going to go to a side-by-side split cam here and take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back, people, here live on MaxSpeedTV.
iRacing, the world's biggest premier in online sim racing, gives you, the driver, an experience of a lifetime in competing against some of the best drivers in the world. All drivers take their hand at each track and they want to look good while putting it up front. Wouldn't you like to do the same? Introducing iWraps, one of the leading online iRacing paint venues, offers you any custom paint that you desire. Show off your sponsors and style while running some of the greatest sim racers out there, and look great while pounding the pavement or spinning in the dirt. Any color or any design, no request is too small. From sprint cars to cup cars, they cover anything you want. Want to show off that local venue? Or how about running one of your favorite real-world drivers' paint? iWraps does it all. Custom suits, helmets, cars, and logos. Just ask and they will make it look like $1 million while you're going 1,000,000 miles an hour. iWraps produce high-quality virtual paint designs for iRacing vehicles of all kinds. Search iWraps on Facebook and send a message today to make your iRacing experience more than just making laps in a pre-made paint scheme. iWraps, the top of the line in online racing paint wraps. If you're looking for a gift for that special person, or just want to treat yourself, check out Expressions by Erica on Facebook.
Cups, hats, t-shirts,
Heat transfer vinyl.
graphics, and much, much more. Treat yourself with a personalized monogram to go in your Yeti cooler or the back of your car.
Erica does it all.
Need something that says I love you for Valentine's Day, your anniversary, or even birthday? Erica has you covered with the best gift for all of those special occasions. Misty from Facebook says, they did an amazing job on what I ordered. They also did it very quickly, even though I had it shipped from South Carolina to Tennessee. I highly recommend them. Thank you, girls.
Also from Facebook, Casey says, great job. And they did it last minute for me since I completely forgot I needed it. Everyone loved it.
Contact Expressions by Erica by calling 843-810-3883 and like us on Facebook.
Expressions by Erica.
All right, back live here. Long break there under green flag. Leaders have yet to pit, Bob. The cycle was different from Tribble to the rest of the field, whittling down drivers. What do you see out there, Bob?
Yeah, just back myself from a quick pit stop, getting a nice cold Coors Light, great beer. Tapping to the Rockies, folks, and not much changed out front. And yeah, that pit cycle is going to be way different. Wow, we got to calculate. I have no idea how this equates time-wise as we watch this clock and the grains tick through that hourglass. Now, 2:05 of 2:55 run, 50-minute left in this race. Working lap 112. I wonder if Tribble is in a bad spot and has to pit one more time, whereas these guys might get this time done in just one stop. But it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. This is a big story developing. Top two have just about a 3.9 second lead over Christopher Mattis. Kyle Chadwick currently running fourth. Robert McFarland running in, it just changed, of course, because I mentioned him and now showing him a lap down. He must have cycled through on his pit stop as well.
Yeah, Farland going down. Tribble lap down himself. We saw that pit stop happen. He chose to do it early on. Like I said, a little bit different strategy from the rest of the field. As always, is the 22 machine. It seems that he tries to do a little bit different than anyone else. A little bit of excitement added in. Long race, a lot of verbiage used here tonight, Bob. My vocabulary is about run out here, but Chris Voiles, Justin Michael staying nose to tail and just checking out from the rest of the field. We got about a second drop off from, I would say, their qualifying times throughout this field. So we're not running too bad of laps compared to where we need to be on time, as long as they continue to do so.
Yeah, they're running pretty good laps here. They've got to be getting close, though, on fuel, and probably going to be visiting pit road here anytime.
Yeah, Chris Voiles, Justin Michael out front. Let's see who's in third. That is Christopher Modis, I believe, in third. That 011 machine now occupying the number 3 spot. Seen him run up front, battle for the lead earlier on during some of those battles between cautions and whatnot. He's really come back with some fire at Slugnuts Racing. Being able to run this race, I know he loves the IndyCar, but good to see him running out front. Now there was Brian Tribble making a pass on Kyle Chadwick, or Robert McFarland, excuse me, out of that corner. But Kyle Chadwick is actually our 4th place driver here, and about almost 9 to 10 seconds back from our leaders.
Yeah, good run for Kyle. I think this is one of the first Indy car races that he's run. Kyle, a little bit newer guy to the iRacing.
Oh, McFarland to the pit road. Sorry, he went back out on track. No caution. He scoots down pit road. Thank God, no caution on that one.
Man, that thing is crab walking. It looked like it's on the deck there. The deadliest catch down pit road. That thing is hurt. Hopefully he has another fast repair to get that thing back out, Jeff.
And he's just missing on my screen the left front tire. So we'll see what he does. Maybe hopefully he has another fast repair. Yep, he does. Tires go up on the one machine. He'll take a lap or two hit.
Chris Voiles down pit road.
Yeah, there's our leader, Justin Michael, now takes the number 1 spot. We'll stay with the 009, see how well his pit stop goes down there.
And while you're watching that, I'll keep an eye out for cool Kyle Chadwick. Actually, he's over in turns 1 and 2. Yeah, both ends look alike at this point in the night.
Yep, that they do here after some long racing here at Loose Lug Nuts Racing for this Indy 500 event. There goes Chris Voiles. He's out in the way, no problems. From what I've seen, he's going to be almost up to speed as Justin Michael catches him out of turn 2.
Yeah, Justin Michael definitely going to probably get every drop he can out of that thing. Currently has a 5-second lead as we do near, we're just within half a minute of 45 minutes left to go. Working lap 118. And Chadwick just made the call. He is pitting this time, Jeff. As
yep, here goes
Justin Michael. Wow, he sent it down the pit road. Wonder if he got down to that speed limit. That cone's way back in the pit road. I'm sure he did. Wow, he really got down there real fast. Nice job on getting that thing down in the pit road.
Yeah, that'll the 011 machine of Christopher Modis up to first place. We'll take a look at the 07 as he comes down the road. He'll have the number 1 box.
Yeah, and that note for folks that don't know, the pit boxes are not picked by the drivers. They're assigned by your qualifying position. So if you get the pole, as Justin did, you get pit box 1, which is actually probably one of the best ones to have.
Yep, no matter what you're racing, IndyCar or stock car, getting the number 1 pit box. There goes Justin Michael. Looked like he sped in. He had a normal pit stop.
And Mattis definitely tried sending it in too. Lots of brake lockup. Took out one of those yellow cones on the way in. He does make his way down to his pit stall. Get a full tank of fuel and 4 fresh Firestones.
Now let's see what the 011 machine has to do on pit road. There goes the tires up. Looks like he's not going to have to hold up. While he's holding, Bob, he has to hold.
Yeah, Justin Michael now works his way across the stripe. This is going to put Mattis quite a bit behind him.
Yeah. How long is the hold though for speeding in? Is it like 12 to 15?
Yeah, 15, I believe, unless it's different in Indy cars. But he did knock one of those yellow cones over, and some series, I think, give you a unsafe entrance if you knock a yellow cone over on the way in.
Yeah, well, at least he served the penalty coming in rather than going out. Modest and that 011 machine probably out of the figure for a win as long as we stay green flag racing, though he's going to have a long road ahead of him.
Oh my goodness! Wow, this is a huge gap for Justin Michael. We'll wait for it to cycle through on my screen and get all updated. But I'm showing a rather large gap.
Yeah, 7 seconds on my board, Mr. D'Amico. Might be even further. Like I said, Michael almost caught Boyles out of the pit road before he even went down. So Boyles on the return using up precious tires, as Michaels will have the freshest tires during the longest green flag run event coming up, and that'll put him well ahead of Boyles. Boyles used to running and seeing Michaels maybe having a little bit of a struggle here.
And here's the big question, though. Those pit stops, the last couple, 44, 43 minutes left in the session, and really kind of starting to focus on time, folks, because I don't believe we're going to get to lap 200. The session time does run out after 2 hours and 55 minutes. We're at 2:12, just about 2:13 into this session. Can they actually run the fuel that amount of time? I think everybody might be coming again. I'm not sure, though, Jeff.
Well, they're going to have at least one more time. Even if we plug a 30-minute window here of green flag racing, they're going to have to come down pit road to take some more fuel and tires, in my opinion.
And we saw Brian Tribble considerably earlier than these guys. Is he in a two-stop predicament then, do you think, Jeff?
Yeah, most definitely. If he pitted well before, at least 20 laps before those guys started cycling their own pit stops. So he would at least have to do 2. Ray Richer off the track there. Bob, he's called it a night.
Well, that's tough. And Ronald Klein just put me via time speed. He said 32 minutes if we stay green. I must have miscalculated. Hey, Ronald Klein definitely working the buttons on the Jeff Wood Signature Series Common Core math calculator, and right on top of it.
Yeah. Michelle out there remembering Justin Michael finishing backwards at some event. Unfortunately, I think you're actually right, Bob. With this amount of laps to go,
I think he's good. I think he can make it.
We'll have to see. The drivers.
We'll see.
This is an uncommon thing to have to worry about: time versus fuel and everything. So we'll see how it plays out. It's going to come down to the final 4 drivers possibly, and how they want to pit.
Yeah, the tough thing, Jeff, is these guys didn't plan on running those kind of figures in their planning for their race strategy. I ran a street stock series where we ran timed events, so you had to kind of figure that out and calculate that ahead of time. And if you were good at it, and in the street stock vehicle, it takes so long to put fuel in the car, you would take just what you need, and if you hit that mark good, you would get a lot of spots on the pit stops. And some of the guys didn't even figure any of that out, Jeff, and they'd be down there filling the damn thing up, and they'd lose 10, 12 seconds on a pit stop. So a lot of interesting things. Ray Richer, as you mentioned, did disconnect, and Robert Panic Menace, my other buddy from Colorado Springs, has also called it a night. And I got somebody sending me messages on TeamSpeak, so I'll let you have the call here for a moment, Jeff.
All right. We and the waning laps of this race, finally with green flag, long green flag run here, but with fewer cars. It was an attrition situation here tonight at the Loose Lug Nuts Indianapolis 500. Here on live on MaxSpeedTV. Thank you everyone for coming out, viewing this live, replaying it possibly. I know some of the drivers watched the replay event on YouTube, so thank you for that. Thank you for the views. Like Bob always says, like, share, subscribe if you can. Share it out there. Get more views. Get more recognition for MaxSpeedTV and Loose Lug Nuts Racing League. Back out front, though, is Justin Michael. Clicking away laps. We called it early on as we saw he was the car to beat. Pushing 3-wide situations with ease and making passes with ease. Justin Michael, cream of the crop here tonight, and doing his best. About 5 seconds ahead of Chris Boyles in the time difference. Coming up to a possible lap car situation through the corner. Looks like it might be Robert McFarland. I'm not sure.
Yeah, easily makes his way around him. And Jeff, I can definitely tell you, a lot of these drivers watch the broadcast. I said something about Kyle Chadwick. Basically sucked at dirt racing. And man, I tell you what, that cat called me out on it. He'd been working his butt off and testing and practicing. And this past Wednesday over at Hold My Beer Racing, I had nothing but a mirror full of Kyle Chadwick from the last 30 laps of that race. And took everything I had to beat him. Did a great job stepping his game up. But cool Kyle Chadwick's definitely doing good here tonight as well in third. We're going to bring Mr. Ronald Klein up. He's asking for an invite to the booth here and help us out here for the last part of the night, Jeff. And I'm going to grab him and pull him up.
All right. Justin Michael still running out front here. Like I said, Chris Boyles 5 seconds, Hedwig in third, about 13.5 seconds back, as is Tribble himself. That's the real battle on the field as Ronald Klein enters the booth. Brian Tribble and Kyle Chadwick, running 3-4, still battling it out. A little bit of damage on each other's cars. Still having a good, fun time out there.
Yeah, taking a look at that battle. Chadwick and Brian Tibble right there on top of each other. Of course, both on different pit strategy. The 22 machine will undoubtedly have to pit before Mr. Cool Kyle Chadwick does. Those guys working their way out of turn 2. And now Brian Tibble actually starting to pull away from Cool Kyle as they work in the turn 3. We got Mr. Klein up here in the booth with us, our admin for special events at Loose Lug Nuts Racing. What's on your mind there, Mr. Klein?
I was just going to give some information out. I was running the calculator, and I thought the math that I did, we were going to be good to go.
Before you go any further on, tell us about that calculator. What kind of calculator are you using?
The one at first it was the one in my head. Now I actually have a physical calculator in my hand.
Is it the Jeff Wood Common Core Signature Series calculator?
Nope. This one comes stock on the.
It's probably fake news. Then you don't have the right calculator, my friend. Like, go ahead with your info.
So based off the fact that they're running 41-second laps, we got about 70. When I did the calculation, 71 laps to go. Divided by 60 seconds per lap, or 60 seconds for minutes. It's going to take 47 minutes. So initially I said we could make it. Now I'm thinking we probably cannot. We're literally going to run out about 6 minutes before they finish. We're going to run out of time. And for the fans that are wondering, it's a 30-lap fuel window. So you can do a lot of calculations, which I haven't done yet, but you'd figure out how many laps you would go, how long it's going to take, how much time is left in the race, and when you need to pit to cut as much time as you can and get the best finish that you can into this. Unless you're Justin Michael, you're kind of in control of the race.
Yeah, he sure is. And Brian Tibble was just on the racetrack, call it out. He's going to be pitting, I believe, in 2 laps from now. Still just ahead of Cool Kyle Chadwick. I don't know how much time you've been out of the car, but a lot of great racing out here, Ron. And Justin Michael, like you said, definitely in control. I almost want to see a caution, to be honest with you, at this point. If you can go down there and maybe throw some debris on the track, get these guys closed back up, I think that'd be kind of cool at this point.
I wouldn't say that it's out of the question in terms of if a couple people get together and start racing real hard, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, just quick update. Brian Tribble does make his way down to pit road here at the 2 hour and 20 mark in lap 134. if you want to plug those calculations in, Ron. And of course, Justin Michael still way out front, 5.1 seconds over Chris Voiles. Now Chadwick, cool Kyle Chadwick, that is, works his way up into the third spot. Great run for one of his first IndyCar races. Just as I say that, he's over there running through the grass and shit. Come on, Kyle, get it together.
Hopefully not bringing out a caution, though. Like you said, Justin Michael...
He hung on to it, but boy, he about tried. He tried. He did everything he could to wreck the car, but didn't.
Yeah, Justin Michael is the man with the plan. It's his race to lose. Hopefully he realizes the time event coming up. When time does hit, on that certain occasion, the white flag will be the next flag shown for the leader for the lap. So they'll have the time remaining, so to say, to complete that lap, and that will be our final occasion for the race. If that comes down to it, it's all about where you pit stop and who does what and when. And that's a lot of W's there, but who knows at this point? At least in my mind, it's Justin Michael. As long as he keeps it clean, keeps the pit stop good, no holdups on pit road, he'll have a good time at winning this race.
And Ron, of course, looking ahead on the special events calendar, we're going to be at Charlotte doing the World 600 in June. I don't recall the date, but tell the great fans out there at MaxSpeedTV what you have in store that night.
We'll be doing the a very similar thing to what we're doing tonight. Tonight, obviously, we didn't exactly get the result that we want, but we do have some. We've had some great racing. We finally got to green flag racing, but for the Coke 600, we'll be going back to what we're familiar with. We'll be going to the stock cars. We'll be at Charlotte. We're going to run the Coke 600 just like they do in real life in NASCAR here in a couple days, actually. I think tomorrow, right? They're running it tomorrow.
Yeah, I guess you got the same TV guide Jeff does from 1970-something. Yes, that Coke 600, World 600 as I like to call it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's Fox Sports. Tomorrow evening, I'm not sure what time, around 4 o'clock, I believe. About an hour and a half after the IndyCar race usually ends, or 2 or 3 beers.
Copy that.
Yes, sir. A lot of good racing there, and looking forward to that race. It should be a great show. I think MaxSpeedTV is going to be covering that as well. So you folks make sure you tune in. What was the date of that event, Ron?
I actually don't have it up in front of me. It's in mid-June, I believe. Just check the Loose Lug Nuts Facebook page, and the schedule is up there for the summer. And of course, just kind of keep an eye out. We'll be advertising it. It'll be published everywhere.
Good stuff. And back on track, Justin Michael has stretched that lead out just a little bit more over Chris Voiles. Chris Voiles doing a great job recovering from those earlier incidents in that second spot, 6 seconds back. Big gap, though. Big gap back to Kyle Chadwick.
Yeah, there's a big gap there. 2/3 at least. Same thing with Chris Voiles. Justin Michael easing his way through lap traffic. I believe that's Brian Bazell still out there, 1 lap down, hoping and praying for his moment to get back into it. A lot of these guys are that are a lap down at least. Robert McFarland's still in it. He took that nasty pit lane on. As Ron mentioned, we're coming up on time and pit stop strategy at this moment. Less than 30 minutes remain on time. They're not going to make it to the 200 lap mark. That's for sure, Bob. So
yeah,
it's all about
is
where
for
they
sure.
pit.
Yeah, just inside of 30 minutes says the clock. It's 2:25 and 21 right now, as I said that on our screens. Justin Michael stretches that lead out just a little more. 6-7. Look at a car spinning. And in the wall he goes. Not sure who that was.
Caution,
there. Caution flies. Jeff.
Talk to me, good. What do you got?
That was Brian Bazell making, of course, one of the rare open wheel starts here in these Indy-style cars. Did a good job, though, especially after being at the track all day in that hot heat. But caution does fly here. That puts Brandon Thornhill in that lucky dog spot. And we'll get everybody regrouped up for one last badass run until the sand runs out of this hourglass, Jeff. Hate to see a guy have trouble, but you know what? I'm kind of excited that we got this caution and we'll get these guys kind of grouped back up. Also, kind of screws Brian Tribble. I believe he just pitted because I'm showing him one lap down.
Yeah, maybe he can just stay out here at this point, and have to do the long way around to get your lap back during a caution. But yeah, this event definitely changed, and like you said, probably for your liking, at least. These guys are going to group back up one final time with the short amount of cars we have left on track. It's going to be interesting to see who starts out front. We've seen Tribble and his slow up starts to the green flag. Mazzell disconnecting. And then we have Justin Michael who starts and he'll go straight at it as soon as that pace car drops.
Absolutely. But first, the business is down on pit road. I expect all 4 of our lead lap cars to pit. We'll watch. I'm fairly certain Brandon Thornhill will get the Lucky Dog awarded. Lucky Dog, of course, free pass for the first car. 1 lap down. It's not involved in the incident, and they get to go around and get their lap back. And we'll see what happens here with him. And Brian Tribble, I believe he's probably freshly out of the pit road, and he should be able to stay out and get the wave around by not pitting and being ahead of all the lead lap cars.
As has been Thornhill, those 2 guys are going to have to stay out front. Robert McFarland probably on the same style of strategy, but he is 2 laps down at this point. So
yeah, this
Justin
time,
Mike's...
that time the pits were actually closed for all the lap down cars, only open to the lead lap cars. Brandon Thornhill does gas it up and makes his way around the track with that wave around. And back down on pit road, Jeff, we'll take a look at that action.
Yeah, Michael's already off in a way. Boyle's out second. Chadwick third. Modest slow off of pit road, but it doesn't really matter. He's 4th.
Yeah, he's not going to really lose any spots there, being the last car on the lead lap. But that's your top 4 in the lead lap. Of course, Brandon Thornhill gets the wave around, and I'm pretty sure Brian Tribble will be doing the wave around. We'll have 6 cars on the lead lap here for this last stint, as they call it in road racing at Indianapolis. Looking at the clock, Jeff, just easing up on 2:29. While these guys finish up their last pit stops, I'm going to make my last pit stop. I'm going to step away from the mic right quick. And you're watching coverage here of the Indy 500. Jeff, you got the mic for a moment?
Oh, yes, sir. Out there, if you're wondering about the next special event here at Loose Lug Nuts Racing, the World 600, the Coke 600, whatever you want to call it, Charlotte Motor Speedway, 600 miles here at Loose Lug Nuts coming up on July 5th, one day after celebration of July 4th. We'll be live back on MaxSpeedTV, so that should be fun. Lessons learned here tonight may be applied then and there, so we'll see how that goes. And still under caution, pace car not turning out the lights just yet. Trying not to go to another commercial break. I know we've had a lot of plugging of our sponsors here on MaxSpeedTV through commercials. Maybe I can talk more and get us through some more laps. It's going to be a long one, though. Brian Tribble looking to get a lap back. Justin Michael, like I said, he's out front. Chris Boyles is going to be down. All about how you get through these first few laps and how you can position yourself. Justin Michael, like I said, we know how he's going to restart. He's shown us. Now, does he mix it up or not? Who's your pick with the cars remaining out here? Who would you like to see win? I know Justin Michael may be the favorite. Just our picks out there on YouTube, as these are probably our final green flag run coming up. Tribble going to have another shot at that apple bite, getting that lap back. Good for him. Probably got a little bit screwed over there with the caution flag flying when it did, but Brian Mazzell had a cleanish race up to that point. not just the finish he won in the 24 machine, has packed it up. Robert McFarland still struggling through that one machine with the sponsor there this past Sunday. Sundays, I should say. We did 16 weeks with Top Shelf Auto and Detailing as a sponsor, and Sundays with MaxSpeedTV. Great sponsor. Thanks to him coming over and sponsoring that Cup Series here at Loose Lug Nuts Racing. Glad to continue to see him racing. We'll continue working with Robert McFarland in the future. I guarantee it. I think he may have pulled it off just for the event here. Seeing a car dive down pit road. Not sure who that is altogether, but Robert McFarland off. Ryan Tribble looking for that wave round. Some of these guys choosing to pit here. Brandon Thornhill down on pit road. Modest on pit road. Chadwick, that was Chadwick, sorry. Third car there. He's getting into the box just fine. They're choosing to go extra tires, extra fuel here. Not sure if that's going to play out too well overall or make any type of difference of what the previous pit stop would have done for him.
Yeah, that's interesting strategy. You might think that that window's close and they're looking at the time and they're trying to probably do that math in your head. And doing that math in your head when you're driving, you don't have that advantage of stopping and thinking about it. You got to go. You got just that time window and not much time to think about it. So probably just going with it.
Yeah, definitely time window going to be a factor with the caution flying here, Bob. So it's the wind up to the finish. Less than 25 minutes to go, and we're still under caution. But our pace car lights out. We'll be coming back to the green yet again, but at that huge long green flag run, I wish we had more on the track, but like I mentioned, going into that long green flag run, attrition was the purpose here tonight. Unfortunate for that situation to evolve like it did, but here we go. Let's see how it starts out with these guys. This is the key factor here, Bob, with the cars remaining on the lead lap. Can they make a move on Justin Michael? Can Justin Michael maintain his lead?
Yeah, an interesting lineup, too. Those guys making that pit stop, one to go, they're going to be single file. It's kind of a weird-looking formation down there. They can pass to the right before the stripe. We'll see what happens. Justin Michael does gas
Green flag,
Chris
green flag.
Oil, looks like he's going to try to get down. I'm not sure what he's doing. He should get down in that draft, try to get that toe. Does ease down to the bottom as they work through turns one. Kyle Chadwick right there in that third spot. And Christopher Mattis in fourth. That's your top four as they rock it down the back straightaway.
Yep, Chadwick going to have a little bit of a run up with Chris Woyles. Justin Michael with that huge start. Now getting a mirror full from 009 there. Wow, look at Modest go. He's all the way up to second spot.
Damn, he might have nitrous in that car. Boy, he hit the button and it was go time. Look at him rocket right up in the second spot down in the turn four. I'll tell you, Jeff, as we get down to the closing stages of this race, talk of the town was, I don't want to be leading with one to go because of this big toe. And now that we have the top four in the lead lap, at least right here, Brian Tribble trying to work his way back into this picture as well. But the talk of the town is, I don't want to be leading down in turns 1 and 2 on the last lap at least. I want to be in second so I can make that run and use that run to gain that spot. So we'll see how this plays out. Of course, we saw that action in Indy Lights there Thursday or Friday afternoon, rather. I'm not sure if the folks watching there on YouTubeville saw that, but check that out. Look for it. It's on demand and stuff. That was a great race to watch. Very much like what we're seeing out here tonight. Side-by-side battle down in the turn one. Mattis and Michael working there, and Voyles ready to strike.
Yeah, Michael's really holding on to the outside. We saw him do that early in the race and have a successful run off the corner. But Modest with some fresh or maybe fresher shoes there as he did a really late pit, showing he can make a run on the inside.
And when I was away, did Brian Tribble stop and top off? Because he just came over the radio and said, I can't make it on fuel. So I'm not sure.
I don't think Tribble realizes the time constraint then.
He might have had too much brisket today and messed up his mind. I don't know. I'm pretty sure these guys can make it, unless he didn't fill the car up, unless he had the fuel turned down for some reason I couldn't explain. But he's backing out of it and hands that spot over to Kyle Chadwick, that is. And he works his way up one spot on him. Or was that Brandon Thornhill? Brandon Thornhill.
That might be Thornhill,
right.
yeah.
Thornhill now working his way past him. But either he's right and the rest of these guys are wrong, or he's wrong and the rest of these guys are right. That battle, though, up front, still side by side, almost up into the wall. He was real squirrely through turn 4. Justin Michael, that was. Mattis down to the inside. Boyles right there, not sure which guy to follow. And in that dirty air with 2 cars side by side in front of you, that thing must be pushing like a dump truck. He's got to be real careful not to overwork those front tires and wear them out here in the closing stages.
Yeah, this is where we've seen cautions happen, though, in the corners with side-by-side racing. These guys doing a spectacular job. Look at Thornhill jump out. Now taking it down 3 wide.
3 wide down in the turn 3. They make it wide.
Boyles
Get squirrely down to the access road through turn 4. Able to gather the machine up, but will lose his ass on track position back out front. It is a side-by-side battle. Mattis under fire. Is that Mattis? No, Michael and Brandon Thornhill now. Mattis right there, ready to strike back on Thornhill. Takes a peek down to the outside. Through turn 2, now trying to get back up into that spot. Wow, Jeff, we're seeing some great racing. Glad we had that caution. No offense to the guy who was involved in it.
Yeah, I know. I mean, this is exciting, so to say. I mean, Chris Boyles probably out of it at this point, unless he gathers some speed back up. Well into this run and this event. They're dicing up here in front like we saw at the beginning part of the race, Bob.
Absolutely. These guys are getting wild, getting crazy, and getting after it, loose lug nut style. Looking at that clock, Jeff, we're just about 10 seconds away from 2:38 of 2:55, guys. Keep an eye on that clock. The sand is tickling through that hourglass as we speak. And these guys know it. They know that that time limit's coming up, and it's go time. It's time to get after it. And look like Brian Triple has actually picked his pace up. Not sure if he actually recalculated and rethought that situation out, but he's right there just inside of that draft bubble and able to pull up at will if he wants. Side by side once again down in the turn 1. Wow, this guy's... I think they've been side by side more than they've been in front or in behind of each other. Mattis does take the lead down through turns 1. And there is Justin Michaels riding that line up. Almost gets the wall out of turn 2. Wow, he is right up against it here as I watch from the chopper cam with the Oculus Rift on. Oculus Rift, great product, folks. Check those things out. Wow, Jeff Wood, I'm going to run out of breath. Back to you.
Yeah, Thornhill's getting some amazing runs, but having to check up when these guys are side by side. Not wanting to push the 3 wide situation too much unless you're probably on the front stretch. That's probably the only point you want to go 3 wide is down the front into turn number 1. There goes Modest now below, Justin Michael there, just with a nose edge, and they're working side by side. The man on the outside, Michael, I'm surprised he can hold on as well. Maybe with all that aero push behind him now, got a good backing for the outside run.
Yeah, that outside car really does take a lot of the side force and air right off that inside car. It is hard as hell when I was in practice, Jeff, to be on the inside of somebody. Really had to be easy on the loud pedal, otherwise you'd push up to him and wreck. And of course, that as we get down here in the closing stages, this is Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Jeff. I can tell you firsthand, I've got to win here. I win, regardless whether it's in these IRL cars, Cup, Xfinity, or Truck Series, man, a win means a ton here. One of my biggest wins on a personal level is here at the Brookyard. These guys still side by side down in turns 3. And of course, we got Brandon Thornhill right there in striking distance. And I'm watching Kyle Chadwick. I think he's biding his time and trying to save the tires and save all he has until that go time really fires off here. As we are just above 2 hours and 40 minutes into this event, inside of 15 minutes to go. Kyle needs to get up there just a little bit, but I think he wants to set up that big strike there in the closing stages.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. You got to be able to pounce there in that closing stages like you mentioned, but you got to be there to do it. And the guy that maybe got out of the loud pedal a little bit unconcernedly early was Brian Tribble, putting himself back in the situation. However, he's still there lurking. Thornhill's the man you got to watch, in my opinion. If he's going to make a run and press it down the back straightaway, the 68 of Brandon Thornhill.
Absolutely. Not sure what he said. Justin Michael did say something over the race chat. I'm not sure if it was pitting this time by, but I thought that's what I heard. I could be wrong. And wow, look at these guys using that guy to express off. Wow, into the grass. It looks like McFarland dodging, getting out of these guys' way. You don't want to be any part of that mess.
Yeah, Michaels looked like he almost clipped the back end, or excuse me, Miles clipped the back end of Michaels a little bit squirrely out of 3 there. So Brandon Thornhill now back in second. I don't think Michaels was saying I'm pitting this time around.
He might have been calling a timeout.
Oh, yeah, that
There will be a caution.
Big wreck down in the turn 1.
We'll have to back up and view that. That's going to hurt the time.
Yeah, that was that Mattis that got into him.
Yep, just
apologies
too much
from
into
Mattis
the corner.
over the race chat instantly as soon as that was so he was able to get some sense of composure after this wreck here late at Indy, and just watching it, he's almost down on those things. It just gets in. The guys just get together racing for that position, and wow, wicked tumble by that Brandon Thornhill machine.
Yep. Lap 159 upcoming for our leaders here. Chris Ramadas able to pull away. Brandon Thornhill really slow on the track. What engine power is left, and crab walking potentially through these corners. He's looking to get down pit road without getting a lap down, because that will just end him for the night. I'm not sure he can do it as the pace car is being picked up. He may be underpowered and have to accept an EOL at this point.
Yeah, he may just have to, and tough break, just hard racing. I don't believe it was anything intentional or anything of that nature. A good break though for Chris Foyles, who lost that lead draft, if you will, with that off-course excursion and having to catch the car. This kind of puts him back in the mix here for the win of this Indy 500, plus or minus, we'll call it at this juncture with the time constraint. Of course, clock now still ticking along, just about 2 hours and 44 minutes. I believe these guys are all going to come down and get some fresh Firestones. Oh, Chadwick, I'm not sure how that's going to work out. That might have been a commitment cone violation on his part. We'll see how it plays out, see if he gets penalized down there in pit road. And we didn't have anybody 1 lap down, Jeff, so I don't believe anybody will be. McFarland was 2.
Yeah, he'd still be the next man up.
Oh, yeah, he'll get 1 back, but nobody getting their way back to the lead lap, meaning contention for the win. And did see that Brandon Thornhill did go a lap down here.
Yeah, he had a good run. He had to tow eventually. He was getting caught by the guys on the lead lap, so to say. The pace car was creeping up behind him. He just decided to turn it and tow it. Yeah, he had a strong run all night. He's got to be proud of that. So, kudos to Brandon Thornhill for a long, strong run out here in the Indy 500 at Loose Lug Nuts.
I'll tell you, Jeff, not much time left in this one. Everybody has everything they need to go to the end. Fresh Firestones on these great-looking machines. Of course, many of them painted by Over the Top's paints and designs. So look your best on the track. Look over the top. And as the great Ken Squire used to say at Barrie, Vermont, Thunder Road, Grandma, put your teeth in your pocketbook. It's going to get wild. And I truly believe we got us a great race. Even though there's not a lot of cars on track. Yeah, you only need really 2 cars to have a great race anyway, in my opinion. But we got 5 guys here. Got everything they need. I think they're going to put on one hell of a show here for the end of this Indy 500 plus minus, as we say.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be minus from that equation with time approaching we'll see when time hits and where they are on the track. Robert McFarland looking to go down pit road yet again, maybe add something to his finish. He's, only 2 laps down. He's just outweighed the attrition and ran in the back and ran his race. Again, kudos to him for doing that, sticking it out.
Yeah, doing a good job sticking it out, and not going to get a free pizza because I picked 16th as his finishing spot, I think. He threw a challenge out there on Bookface, of course. I guess he has some affiliation with Domino's. Free pie to whoever picked his finishing position, I guess is what it was. Although last time I had a Domino's pizza, Jeff, well, we won't get into that. It wasn't very good. And just a quick update, Christopher Mattis has retired from the event.
Sorry to see the 011 go. That would also mean Brandon Thornhill's out of this race. So if 5th place is out, it's a 4-car battle to the time finish event. Gosh, you say how long are we got to go around this track? We may be timed out coming to the green flag.
Yeah, we're at 2:47 and change right now. Still under caution. Of course, 2:55 is our time limit. I would expect one to go this time by, plus that 2 minutes. Let's see, 2:48, 2:50. That will give us about a 4 to 6 lap shootout, Jeff. That is without the Jeff Wood Common Core Signature Series calculator, folks. That was done old school way, in my head. Unlike most millennials can't do when they try to count your change back down there at the convenience store. Pace car now working its way down the main straightaway. Guys are kind of lollygagging around trying to fake each other out about going to get tires again or something. I don't know what's going on. They're just kind of weaving and slinging around. And, wow.
Well, hopefully they're not scratching tires like if they were in a stock car there, Bob. You don't want to rub in these tires.
Jeff, I just spun around. I'm looking for the rest of the field. Where the hell are they? Is there only 4 cars left on the track?
4 cars left on the track, Bob. 4 cars on the lead lap. So this is what we got to end the race, people. I can just see you spinning around in your chair also looking back with that Oculus Rift going, this looks a little bit different. Pace car lights are out. We're going to be on the 250 mark, like Bob said, to start this green flag session. We're not going to make the 200 laps. It's going to be a run to the white flag at this point. All these drivers know how it is out front, so they know what they have to do to get past Justin Michaels. It all really depends on who starts where and how you can catch each other in the corner. Bob, you may be right. You may be wanting to sit second before you see that white flag.
Absolutely. I think you want to be second up until about turn 3, and I think somewhere in that point. I haven't seen that run like we saw in the Indy Lights race at a turn 4. I think you want to be making that move into turn 3. That's my guess. Of course, I don't run these Indy deals that often. And, whoa, we have 5 cars on the track. It just got even more exciting. But, folks, don't be discouraged. These guys are going to put on a great show. Show like you've never seen 4 guys put on before. Pace car is off. Justin Michael is away.
Green flag.
And we do take the green flag at the 2 hour and 50-minute mark, roughly. In second place is Cool Kyle Chadwick, Brian Tibble, Chris Foyles. Kind of a little battle there, side by side as they work down in the turn 2. Brian Tibble does get into that 3rd spot. Top 4 all lined up down the back straightaway, Jeff.
Yep, here they go. This is what Chadwick was looking for, was a long run up down the back straightaway. Justin Michael probably knew it was coming. He's going to dive down, blocks second place. There goes Tribble. He's going to cut the air off of Tribble's nose. Michael's going around the corners, out onto the front stretch, getting a great run on the outside.
Yeah, Michael definitely taking that spot back. And, man, if I'm cool Kyle Chadwick right now, I'm going to let him have it. I want to be in a spot where I can get that run at the right time because if you're the leader, you're kind of like a duck, man. The guy can make him run at you like he can. And here goes Chadwick now down on the inside. Boyle's following Justin Michael there in that high line down in the turn 3, side by side for that lead.
And Justin Michael giving a lot of room on the outside for those guys down on the inside. He's not wanting to touch tires, not wanting to put any type of race into perspective if the inside guy jumps up. And he's getting these huge runs with the arrow push. Look at Boyles push him on that outside down into turn 1 they go.
Yeah, that'd been the last lap. Justin Michael would have been the winner. Chadwick, man, he's got to start learning from that. He's there. He's got the car. He can do it. But, man, he's passing in the wrong end of the speedway. You know, he's got to get the time in. It's a timing thing, Jeff. Whoever's leading, like, right here may not be winning the race, especially if they're on that inside by the looks of it.
Yep. Coming through these corners here, though, we are going to be roughly around the 252 mark, plus a few seconds here. So around 3 minutes left to go in this race. Never mind the laps you see on the screen. It's all about the time. We'll try to call out a little bit more effectively. Chadwick now making the run to the inside of Michaels. Michaels not really caring too much. He'll let him pass on the inside, then regain it on the outside.
Yeah, that inside kind of stalls out, like I said, with that air getting dumped on him from the outside car. Chadwick not giving up, though. Still elbows up and driving his butt off. Boyle's right there. And then watch it Tribble patiently biding his time back there in 4th. Not sure what to make of what he needs to do. And see him starting to get up on the wheel this time out of turn 4 and close up on these guys some. He knows it's go time. 253 now. I'm projecting about 3 to go here, Jeff. Maybe 4.
Yep. Depending on where they are when time hits, where the white flag will come out. Brian Tribble looked like he wanted to go there, Bob. You were right, but probably decided better of it. I think Tribble should wait till he sees the white flag and then really pound that accelerator down. Chadwick still down below. Michael's not, like I said, caring too much as long as he doesn't lose his place in those corners. That is Chadwick.
Boyles down to the inside. 3 wide now for the lead. Chris Boyles takes the lead down in the turn 1. Wow, he thought it was go time for sure.
Yep. 2:53, 40 seconds on this mark as I'm speaking. Boyles now, this is probably Michael's worst nightmare. His teammate out front. So he's got no help in contention of who will push, arrow push him. Michael still, he's got it lined up. Look at him just take the lead back and ease through the middle of these corners. He's got it all figured out.
I'm not sure if Boyles didn't give him the lead. He wants to be set up for that run, and hopefully Chadwick was taking some notes and saw what Boyles did. That might be the winning move as well. Looking at that clock, just inside of 254. We're nearing, I think this time by, we're going to see the white flag, folks. And it said Michaels, Boyles, Chadwick, Tibble, your top 4 down the back straightaway here. Clock ticking out.
They're getting a little bit stretched here. This is where Michaels is dominated, is when the leader can stretch out. Here goes Tribble. He gets a little bit loose under Chadwick, pushing Chadwick up the run a bit. Chadwick responding by staying strong through the middle of the corners. Battle for the lead, battle for second. Nope, they're going to take the white flag next time by here, Bob.
Yep. Popsicle sticks in the air. I'm projecting this time by. Boyles does take that lead from Justin Michael down in the turn 1. Was that move too early? And is Chadwick now kind of set up? He must know. I hope somebody's telling him how much time and how many laps he's got to work with here. That's the key right now. Again, I don't think you want to be the guy leading. Look at Boyles. He led that lap. And now if this was the last lap, what's going to work out here? Justin Michael back up front. I don't know. We'll see how this plays out, folks, as they come out of turn 4. And we'll see what Mr. Starter has for a signal for us.
Believe it's white flag. I'm not seeing it on my screen.
Yeah, I have no indication on my screen of a white flag yet.
Well, when they stop racing, I guess we'll know, Bob. From our understanding, the white flag is out at this situation. 2 hours and 55 minutes has crossed over. We saw a 3-wide event going. Now we're heading down into turn 3. Justin Michaels blocks second place. Well, let's see how they go through the front stretch. Now, we're going to be excited and call it like it's the final lap, but who knows?
Yeah, here comes out of turn 4. Justin Michael showing away. Chadwick in that toe. Takes a look down to the inside. Tries to get there. And no, it was Michael at the stripe, and they keep going, Jeff. No checker flags, still racing. And I don't know if Chadwick expected or wanted the checkers. Voiles back to 4th. He has fallen way back.
They're dancing around. I'm not seeing a checkered flag, but, they're dancing around so much. Chadwick now below Michaels. Oh,
whoa,
he touches
Chadwick's
the grass.
Loose. Wow. Good recovery. He almost lost that machine. Definitely lost a lot of drive. Now Brian Tribble will challenge to the outside as they work across the stripe. Still no indication from the flag stand on the timing here, guys.
Maybe they're being nice and giving a few extra minutes of the 2 hour and 55 minutes allotted for the race session. Usually you don't see this much time given. Usually it's plus 2 laps.
Yeah, usually it's the clock runs out, you get the white flag. Chadwick
here. Chadwick gets too low. Again.
Wow, he's got to ease up on that dang curbing and stuff down there.
Tribble had the lead 3 and 4. I look at Chadwick.
Wow, there he comes again with that big draft. Man, I don't have a white flag on my screen this time either, Jeff.
No, I don't know when to get excited. I'm trying to get the pump up the last lap.
Wow,
they're making some crazy moves out here.
I'm excited every lap. Brian Tribble loses out of turn 2, loses some drive.
Yep. Has to
Boyles now gets back to 3rd. Here comes Chadwick. Cool Kyle Chadwick down the inside of Justin Michael, that is. Gets that lead, and yeah, we have a slow car. He needs to get the hell out of the way. Oh, boy, this is going to get excited. Wow.
Split them.
That Monster Energy can's leaking on both sides after that move. I tell you what, that Kyle Chadwick now showing away, and still no indication on my screen on white flag, Jeff. Yeah, working lap 175. If this was a glitch and we're going to get all the laps in, that would be 25 to go this time by. And again, looking at that clock, 258, nearing 259. Chadwick now dancing with disaster way down low there in turn 3, but really getting good stick and able to hang with Justin Michael as they work their way to the stripe. Side by side, it is a dead heat. Looks like Justin Michael nosed ahead just a little bit still. Nothing from Mr. Starter on the flag stand. No white flags, no indication at all that this race is going to end, although we projected it was over some 4 minutes ago.
So we thought. If it's a glitch, wow. Continuing.
D'Amico is giving us a 1 to go signal, so
we're coming up on the final event here. Through 3 and 4 we go. Look at this. Michael's out to a safe lead. Let's see who gets the run.
Oh! Contact! And at the stripe, it's by a nose. Voiles gets wrecked. Kyle Chadwick had no idea he was out there. Justin Michaels brings home the checkered flag. Cool Kyle Chadwick second. And Brian Tribble and Chris Voiles are left to pick up pieces of their cars. I'm not sure which one finished in 3rd or 4th. Pretty wild thing.
Yeah, not sure where the time straight held, but it is getting late here on MaxSpeedTV, so we're going to go ahead and bring up what is iRacing saying our 3rd finisher. Brian Tribble, 3rd place here this season after a long run with time coming into the matter. Making some moves there, Brian. How fun was that race to end at least?
Hey, Jeff. Yeah, I had a blast the entire night, man. That was a fun, action-packed 2 hours. Those last laps, that was definitely something else. No doubt.
Yeah, what was the key getting you back into third finishing position? I think is what you ended up with. Pieces of your car, of course, strewn all over the place there on that final corner.
Yeah, I actually started shotgun on the field tonight, dead last, just because I had a late start, didn't get any practice, so I didn't want to screw any races up. Got all the way up to the lead pretty quick, actually, and I just didn't take fuel or tires as many times as I could to stay out front because clean air was king. And then it bit me on the second to last stop there. Unfortunately, I had to stop under a green flag, and other guys didn't put me a lap down. And luckily, I avoided a lot of wrecks. I guess that's really the key to it all, right?
Yeah, seemed to be here tonight, Brian. Before we let you go, sir, after this long 3-hour race evening, any final shout-outs you want to give for your third place spot?
Obviously, you guys, Bob and Jeff in the booth, thanks for doing what you do. And John Hedrick and all the guys that came out tonight. That was pretty cool. Long race, definitely endurance style, and we did it. Start to finish. Woo!
All right, Tribble. We'll see you next time, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
All right, moving up to second place here this evening, Kyle Chadwick, the 88 machine. Wow, what a race, sir. You almost had a win there, maybe not making the best move possible. Who knows when that white flag was going to come out at the end, buddy. Tell us about your race.
Yeah, I think what Jeff was saying. Tell us about the race, Kyle. And yeah, we were kind of lost up in the booth. We weren't really getting good indications as to when the last lap was. And did you know when it was go time?
It gave us the white flag, but really didn't know until it gave it to us. It was a good race, just not how I thought it was going to end.
All right, if you got me back, or about my internet connection here, but Chadwick, I believe this is one of your first times in the IndyCar. How did it feel for you? How did you work it? Was it just your style of racing, this long endurance with the attrition allowed you to get up front? And did you have fun at least riding around in the car?
Oh yeah, it was fun. I was actually trying to play a fuel game. The race ending earlier than 200 laps kind of killed me.
And had things gone differently in turn 4 there, you had a little contact with Chris Boyle. Sounded like you had no idea he was on your outside. But had that contact not happened, could you have gotten Justin at the line? It was a pretty good battle there down the line.
I don't know. It was it's hard to say. To be honest, I didn't even see him behind me. I thought he had already dropped back. After that, it's just lost too much momentum.
All right, Chadwick, any shout-outs you want to give for your second place finish here this evening?
Yeah, just thanks to the league for putting this on, all the guys that stuck it out and raced it, and you guys for putting on the broadcast.
All right, Chad, we'll see you next time, buddy.
Thank you.
All right, man of the hour, 07, Justin Michael. Probably the early on pick to win it. Wins it on the time constraint. Justin, tell us about your race. How fun was it mixing it up there with those guys back and forth? You had a strong outside run. Give us your perspective on the fun parts of the race.
Oh, it was fun. I tell you what, though, my hands are really sore, and they're going to be sore tomorrow from gripping that wheel. You gotta hang on to these cars. But it was definitely fun. I was able to keep some momentum on the high side, keep everybody behind me during the last run there. So definitely worked out to our advantage.
Yeah, talk about the high side. We saw that quite a bit. You were able to kind of, I'm not sure what you were doing. It was like kind of making the guy inside tight, I guess, and really using that high line and getting a good roll out of turns 2 and 4 and able to power back by guys even though they had the preferred line from you. Is that how that was working?
Yeah, it's just, I had experience in the car, and I knew how to, you got to know how to manipulate the other drivers to do what you want them to do, and that's pretty much what we were doing. You're rolling through the middle there. It gets really tight when you're on the bottom. So if you keep them down there too low, it just kills their momentum.
All right, we're going to see more of you here at Lugnut Racing here with the Summer Series coming up. It's been a while since we've seen you last. It's always good to see you out here, though, Mr. Justin Michael.
Yeah, I haven't raced since I don't know, fall, late summer, fall of last year. I let my subscription expire. I re-signed up 4 or 5 days ago. So yeah, I'll be around.
Well, we'll be excited to see you back racing and iRacing, loose lug nuts racing all around. We'll be sure to see your machine out there, that's for sure. Any shout-outs you want to give for your trophy upcoming? I believe you'll be getting a die-cast from Mr. John Hendrick for winning this Indianapolis 500 race. So any shout-outs you want to give for your first place finish?
Oh yeah, it's awesome. I didn't know there was a prize, but yeah, thanks to John for doing that, and you guys for calling the race, and shout out to Chris Voiles out there for helping me with fuel strategy, because I'm from West Virginia and I can't add, so he was helping me out with that all night. So, but everybody out there watching too, hope they enjoyed it.
Well, all right, good stuff, and thank you for coming out, and congrats on that great win, and really a great drive throughout the night there, Justin Michael. And Jeff, we saw a great race tonight. We didn't have a track full of cars at the end, but still a lot of great racing. I thought it was very entertaining. Great night for the league. Any final thoughts from you before we call it a night?
Yeah, long struggles out here tonight. I'm sure, like I said, we'll learn from this. We'll improve. We'll go into the next special event and the summer series starting up. Look out there on the Loose Lug Nuts Facebook page. I'm sure it will also be posted up with Loose Lug Nuts on iRacing. Join up if you want to. Try out, see if you fit in, see if you can run some points battles. We're all about the points here at Loose Lug Nuts over set races. So that's what you got to look forward to for the summer series. Keep your eyes out on it, like I said. But again, thank you for everyone to come tuning out here on YouTube, watching the Indianapolis 500 Loose Lug Nuts style. Here live on MaxSpeedTV. I'm Jeff Wood. Bob Wells here, and Michael D'Amico down on the keyboards with the cameras. Good night, everyone, and stay safe.
Lock and load, boys. Time to explode, boys. Make sure you get home, boys. They got your back, the pride of the fleets, the pipe swinging frog men of the UTT.